Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of Friday Night WrestleCast. I'm your host, Richard Bailey Jr., and tonight I'm joined by Mr. Adam Vale. How's it going, Mr. Vale?
What's up, people? Get ready. This is going to be the longest show ever. It ends an hour before NXT TakeOver. So get some popcorn, coffee, jujubes. This is going to be long.
Yeah, no way in hell that'll happen, but we'll see. We'll see. Stranger things have happened. We're also joined by Miss Dana Abercrombie. How's it going, Dana?
It is going very good, guys.
That's good to hear. And we are also joined by the returning Mr. Ricardo Negron. How's it going, Ricky?
It's going fine. You know, it's a great time for comebacks lately. I wonder why. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. And I'm very curious to see what happens with that particular individual on Sunday night. But
I lost, for the people just listening, he has a Dean Ambrose shirt on. I lost mine. I don't know where the hell it is.
Uh-oh.
I put it in the wash, and I don't know. Maybe it's somewhere. I don't know.
I was actually at Boston Fan Expo this past Sunday, and I figured I wear the shirt. And, you know, there was a couple of people that recognized, you know, that actually know who Dan Ambrose is.
Wait. You said Boston Fan Expo.
Boston Fan Expo, I mean, I guess it's like, you know, Comic-Con. But that was in it was in Boston.
All right, so it was like a Wizard World.
Kind of like that, yeah, like a fandom type of thing.
When you said Boston fan, I'm thinking that it's like some kind of event just for Boston athletes. You know, like, oh, let's celebrate all the Boston athletes, like Larry Bird and, you know, Brady and everybody, the best of the best.
Oh no, I would be the one running that convention, but it's kind of like a Wizard World type thing, but yeah, there's a couple of people that recognize him. One said, like, oh, you know, the product's going to get so much better once he returns, referring to Ambrose. So I hadn't been watching Raw for a while, but I had a good feeling about this past Monday. So we'll get into that pretty soon. But, yeah.
Well, I could personally say that you didn't miss anything except for a very, very horrible product. So hopefully there will be some changes, but we will see what happens. But yes, welcome back. And tonight, obviously, we're going to give our predictions for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 and SummerSlam 2018. But before we do any of that, we have 3 particular stories that we definitely want to speak on. So, Dana, the floor is yours.
Wait, I gotta do the beat. Here we go.
There you go.
People.
All right, so first off, we're going to start off with a...
Oh, no. Dana, fire. All right.
Rest in peace to Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Guys don't know, he recently passed away at the age of 63. He first began his career in Stampede Wrestling, and he basically made a name for himself. His brother-in-law is Bret the Hitman Hart. He went on and he won Tag Team Champions. He went and it was the saddest thing on August 13th, but he died, and thoughts and prayers go to the entire family. Thoughts and prayers go to Natty, who is the daughter of Jim Neidhart. Those who don't know, the WWE Network has just released a new collection honoring his life and his career. It contains a 2-minute video called The Heart of Anvil, and it chronicles the wrestler's life in and out of the ring. It also contains 15 matches and moments from his career, including bouts in Stampede Wrestling, and then the documentary Heart and Soul, the Hart Family, it's also included. There's the feature-length film. Then it covers the entire Hart family, which is Neidhart, obviously, his wife, Ellie, Stu Hart, Ellen Hart's 12 kids. So it's available now. Go watch it if you are one of his fans.
It was horrible to hear that. What was it? He had a seizure, but that's not what killed him? When he fell, he hit his head on something?
He had a seizure, and because of the seizure, it caused him to fall, and it was the fall that killed him. He hit his head. Terrible, terrible chain of events. So, rest in
Reminds
peace.
of Macho Man. Remember, Macho Man had a seizure while driving.
He had, he had a, I thought he had a heart attack, and he ended up hitting a pole or a tree.
Yeah, and they were like, they think, because I remember they did autopsy, and were like, well, he probably could have survived if he didn't hit the
tree, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was terrible also. So we lost another wrestler. So also we have to talk about, this is another big story that has been blowing up all over Twitter, and this is the Peyton Royce Dave Meltzer saga that basically went down on Wednesday. Those who don't know, Peyton Royce, half of the Iconics, Dave Meltzer, he made a comment on his podcast earlier in the week, which was basically an exchange between him and Bryan Alvarez about the Iconics segment on SmackDown. So he's saying that the Iconics got boringed out. They're just another one. I thought that they had a cool act in NXT and on the main roster. I don't get a thing about them. I mean, I don't think their promos are particularly good. Their wrestling isn't good. I think Peyton's Royce transformation to look more attractive. I don't know what to say. Alvarez says she was more attractive in NXT. Meltzer says, I thought so. To me, yes, I would say so. It's neither here nor there. I know, no shit, I didn't say it all. She doesn't stand out to me when she was in NXT. She did. She was a lot lighter. So people are very upset. Peyton Royce ended up retweeting one of the fans' tweet that, about this whole interview, and she was like, you're fat shaming me. This is not right.
All right, I gotta jump in because now I'm mad. This whole thing got me mad because it's not fat shaming. Because if you ever listen to anything that Alvarez said and any of the stuff Wrestling Observer, they talk about even the male wrestlers when they come back out of shape, and like, hey, look at when Piper came back. Remember when he came back and he looked like Santa Claus? He had the big belt. Like, whoa, what happened? Out of shape. Is that fat shaming? That's blatant fat shaming. But that's just pointing out the whole business. We're talking about a show where we see guys in their trunks. Okay, they're pretty much naked with trunks and boots on. Some don't even wear boots, like Rusev, you know what I mean? And then you got some women, the same thing, they're doing it. So you're showing off the body. So that's what people are going to go off of. They're going to look at you and say, all right, here's your in-ring, and this is your persona. And that's what he was doing. Does she look different? They obviously do. I don't know too much about the weight, whatever, but their whole gimmick, everything, that sticker, like with the little petty with the hands, I hate it. It's horrible. You know what I mean? They were better as singles. And I found that out just from looking up because they wrestled in Australia and they were good singles wrestlers. But when I read that, I'm like, yeah. And if you keep going, and he even says, we're not saying by any means that she's ugly because she's beautiful. Everything is fine. We're just saying that from what we've seen from NXT to now, it's just the whole thing doesn't work. It's not like, wow, she just got fat. She's pretty good, but she just got fat. No, it wasn't like that. And that's why when they're like, oh, fat shaming, I'm like, no. It's pointing out the obvious for everything, and they've done it for every male, female, midgets. They do it for everybody. You're in front of the camera. That's it. They're just reviewing what they see. So I don't see anything. If they would have said she looks disgusting and this and that and really dug in on it, then yes, you can say, all right, now that's going too far, But they didn't go there. They just said, yeah, it just doesn't work. It doesn't look right, and then they moved on. They didn't linger on it. So that's why I feel like this is being blown out. Maybe it's just no news week, or maybe if Dean Ambrose would have announced that he was going to appear, then people would have just disregarded all this. Because, listen, please. Oh, remember what happened with Paige, where that guy did the palm in the face and called her fat or something like that? That's fat shaming. That's blatant fat shaming. That was just pure anger and hate. There was nothing good about that. But with Alvarez and with Meltzer, that whole thing, no, it's just their review of the product, and that's part of it. If she was somebody in the back that's not on camera and they started bringing that up, then it's like, hey, why are you going there? She's the makeup girl or something like that. But no, she's out there and she's presenting herself. She's wearing the little outfits and she's got her gimmick, and they talked about everything, the whole aspect. And they do it for the male wrestlers also. So I don't see the big deal.
Example, prior to his return, Ambrose looked a lot lighter before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was a lot larger now.
Yes.
And also remember the whole Kevin Owens thing when he got.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's why I just don't get it now. Well, they want to make it seem like, oh yeah, you're doing this, and how dare you do it? What? Then no, it doesn't work that way. You can't say we're all equal, and then all of a sudden he makes one comment, or you hear some comment that you don't like, and say, oh well, then I'm going to take it to the next level. Then you're fat shaming me. No, we're not. It's just pointing out the obvious and their opinion, and they moved on. It wasn't a whole piece on it. It wasn't a bashing.
And I gotta wonder if Peyton Royce herself hadn't commented on it, whether there would be the big shitstorm about it that there is now. I don't know what sequence things happened, whether people were already outraged and then she commented on it or what. But I don't know. I think that part of it that maybe the Peyton feels attacked, and then everyone's coming to the rescue, so to speak. That's why it's like a big discussion, and I think it's to kind of echo your point. I don't think it was fat shaming. I think it was just a thing of aesthetics are part of working on the product. You're expected to look a certain way and whatever. If she was asked to fill out a little bit more, then maybe that was just how it was. And Meltzer commented on it. I don't think he meant anything like really derogatory by it.
And he said they're still beautiful. He said that was the other thing. They by no means said, "Oh wow, she looks like a dog now." Yeah, forget that. No, she was pretty before, but not anymore. No.
I would like to ask a question, and I must apologize if this gets a little controversial, but I have to ask: is this not a product of the world we live in, where you can't say whatever you want to say without getting attacked? Because I saw the backlash of everyone coming after Meltzer, and I was like, wow, that's I know Seth Rollins had his comment. That's a -6, Dave. So I wanted to ask that question because
-6. That's another way coming. What are you talking about? Anorexia? What's going on? No.
Oh no, that's what. Yeah, because Meltzer's always giving these matches 5, 6 stars and all this.
Oh yeah.
So
well, that's always been his shtick. That's been his shtick even before Seth was born. Meltzer's been around forever.
Yeah.
He's not some new kid on the block. I mean, he's been around. So no, it's bullshit. In fact, he's gonna outlast all these people now.
Well, outlast who?
Not for death. We're talking about just in the industry. I think he's gonna be there forever. I mean, we've seen wrestlers come and go. Meltzer's still around.
I think the point he's trying to make is that when all of these wrestlers doing now retire, he'll still be doing
exactly. When they move on and they're doing other things and they have their used car shops or whatever they're doing after wrestling, Meltzer's still going to be doing his newsletter.
So one thing I will say, I definitely want to address this next week. I would love for us to have a candid conversation about why are people fascinated by Dave Meltzer? Because everything that I have seen when he gives matches 5 and 6 stars, it feels to me like people were putting this guy on a high pedestal.
Oh, well, I could put it down real quick. He's the creator of the dirt sheets. He was the man that was telling the world what was going on before there was any real way to find out. You had some magazines, but if you wanted that newsletter in the mail, you signed up for the Observer. You wanted to know what was going on. He just had the inside track. He was the guy. And when all these other news eventually started popping up, these websites and stuff, I mean, they're still getting their material from him. They're just copying and pasting what he was saying. I mean, till this day, we see it all the time. It's like, oh, Wrestling Observer, according to the latest Wrestling Observer, and then that goes through all these wrestling sites. But they're all getting their news from him. He's been around so long. That's the thing. When you think of dirt sheets, you have to just think about Meltzer.
Okay.
And that's why he's up there. That's why it's like, oh, what's the big deal with him? It's because he's been there since day one when it comes to like actually spreading the gossip. That was him. That was his thing. Well, that's what it is. It's what's happening behind the scenes. and he's spreading it, and he was been doing it forever.
Okay.
So that's why the big deal is with him.
You know, and just like any talking head out there, you know, he's got his own opinions, and they're not always the best ones or correct or whatever. But yeah, I think it's that he's got his finger on the pulse of the business, and it has for such a long time.
He's probably the only wrestling journalist in the business that actually has a move named after him. The Young Bucks do it, the Meltzer Bomb.
I thought it was the
Meltzer Driver. Meltzer Bomb or Meltzer Driver? There you go, the Meltzer Driver. So, you know, he goes to the shows. He's constantly at different live events, you know, and he's always reporting it. He gets very in depth on all of it. So he's the man when it comes to that. You know, every industry has one. You know, every industry, like I forgot that famous sports writer that eventually passed away. He was an older guy, but he was at every basketball game and he covered basketball, the NBA since like the beginning or something. But that's what I'm saying. There's always somebody. And for wrestling, we have Dave Meltzer.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Wait, so were there any other thoughts? You okay with that, Dana?
Oh,
Sorry.
man. I don't know. We saw a little something. Whoa.
I thought we were getting an old school Shield promo going.
Like 20 things.
Dana, all you gotta do is put your arm out and pretend like you're holding a camera, like they do on the TV these days. It's
yeah, 205. It's like, you know what? You think you come up with some better promos on your own? Go ahead, film it in the back, and if we like it, we'll air it. I think that's what it feels like to me when I see that. You see a lot of it on 205.
Yeah.
You know, and all different locations. Was it one of the guys that he was on the train tracks and stuff? I'm like, okay.
Absolutely. Okay. So, what other topics did you want to address, Dana?
Oh, yes. So, the last topic before we dive into the whole prediction show has to deal with the WWE 2K9, Daniel Bryan career mode, showcase mode for Daniel Bryan.
To be fair, 2K19 and 2K9 are the same game.
There you go. Yeah.
I know you guys are really excited for this. So, the upcoming video game will feature a Daniel Bryan 2K showcase mode. Adam is very excited. He's been crying about this all day. It's joy.
Send that to the garbage bin.
So, those who don't know are keeping score. This will mark the first time since WWE 2K16 that there has been a showcase mode. So, for 2 years, we haven't had one. 2 years of sadness. But the Daniel Bryan 2K showcase mode will feature not one, not two, but 12 unique matches. 9 arenas that play a big role in Daniel Bryan's career. And 11 different versions of Bryan as a playable character with unique movesets for each. So you're getting 11 different Daniel Bryans. Additionally, there will be not one, not two, but 15 video interview packages, because that's what we do when we buy video games. We want to see video interviews. And there will be 20 video cutscenes involving the career of the Yes Movement. So, yay!
No.
We get video packages, video games.
No, this all tacked on. This is horrible. I mean, if they really wanted to do it right, then do it right like the way they did it with what you just mentioned, with the 15 and 16 when they had with the person who was on the cover. Well, besides the Cena one, that was horrible. But the 16, which had Steve Austin, that showcase was amazing. They should have had AJ Styles. AJ Styles has more of a history, a more entertaining history that I would have loved to play, you know, from his time over in WCW. And then if they could have done the Impact, they have that nice working relationship with them. They could have just called it some other side ass promotion. You know, they could have did stuff with Japan, you know, and all the connections with all the wrestlers that are currently there. Ring of Honor, they could have had some of those matches. He had some amazing matches there. They could have been so many. I mean, the match that he had with Rob Van Dam, that was awesome. There's so many cool things they could have did, but instead they went this route. And just like you said, like, what was that, 11 versions of Daniel Bryan? That's 10 too many. Don't need all of those. What, it's just watching the beard extend because he was pretty much the same. You know, I just don't see the hype. They just didn't do it for me. And the yes movement on, yeah, I seen those specials, so I get it. You cut and paste a lot of that footage, and we saw it even when they announced it. You know, so okay, you're gonna put all that in there, but it doesn't do it for me. I feel like he really didn't have that big of a run. That yeah, he got hurt and he had some good matches, but I always saw him as somebody that was great at taking bumps. Because every time he would take a hard shot or a hard bump, it looked devastating. It looked like he was broken. And then next, we find out he was broken, and then there goes that. But I just don't see it. I don't see it, and I hate the fact that they're just pushing it out there like this. It doesn't feel genuine. I mean, the two best showcase. I love the showcase mode, but the two best, the Undertaker one, that was great. You saw all the different variations. You saw all the different matches. He had an amazing career. You had some amazing matches. The Buried Alive match, Hell in the Cell, the Flame Ring of Fire match, Inferno match. I mean, it was so. What's going to stand out in this for Daniel Bryan? You know what I mean? Like what big moment from what they showed us was just the hell no when he became the tag champs. And a lot of celebrating. So
I'm pretty sure they'll have the WrestleMania match that he had, where he actually won the title with Randy Orton and Batista. But the thing I was going to say is, my whole issue with this. Now, you brought up some good points. I will say this. I don't think that Daniel Bryan has had a meaningful match since he's been back. That is, until he has this match on Sunday. So if I was 2K and I was going to do this, I would have waited until he had this match, because we already know they aren't going to update this game to whatever happens in this match with The Miz. And I'm assuming if he wins on Sunday, they're not going to update that, because the whole thing is to show his journey from the past to now. So what are you going to show when he says, oh, I came back from injury? What match are you going to show? You're going to show Big Cass, even though he is no longer with the company? Because that match was just a pointless match, in my opinion. But this is the match coming up on Sunday that people are actually looking forward to. So I don't really know how you explain that in that mode. But
I'm not excited by this. I'm not excited.
No. And one other thing I will say, and I'm pretty sure, if Ricky and Dana have anything else to add, one other thing I will say about this is that I saw the video that IGN released, the gameplay footage where it shows the interviews that Daniel Bryan have. It shows the actual cinematic footage, and then it shows some gameplay. And the one thing that stood out to me, right as soon as I saw that footage, I hear Corey Graves commentating. I would thought to myself, wow, Corey Graves has been commentating ever since Daniel Bryan started wrestling? Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. So,
and that shows that it was done quickly, because remember back in the day when they did the other ones, they brought back JR and stuff and the King. They put those together so they can get that authentic feel. They didn't bother this time.
No, exactly. And to me, that right there brings the presentation down already, because you still have the same commentary. Even in this current game, the WWE 2K18, you have these guys commentating, Michael Cole commentating at NXT events? Really? It doesn't make any kind of sense. So the commentary is still horrible. We know that from seeing that video. Once I saw that, that instantly took me out of the experience. And I saw the people that were commenting on the video. It also caught their attention, because they were saying the exact same lines they said last year, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. So horrible.
It's like, remember when Corey Graves was commenting on that big Bryan versus Orton match in 2014? Me neither, because he wasn't. It was just such a great 2013. I got the year wrong, but I saw that trailer, and yeah, that threw me off, just because of what you just said, that they would actually put a concerted effort to put in commentators that were from that era, and they didn't do that this time. It's what I'm used to though with 2K and Ukes.
Absolutely. And How about you, Dana? Do you have anything to add, or have you already pre-ordered your copy of WWE 2K19?
See, I just figured I would just borrow Adam's copy because he's day one.
I'm done. You know what I'm day one in? Fire Pro Wrestling. That's what I'm day one in. We got 2 more weeks for that. Can't wait.
Yeah. This is. Remember when I was saying before that 2K Sports said that they were going to take a hiatus for a little bit? I'll wait for that because this is just trash. I just want my No Mercy remastered.
I wish I had a PS4. That would be a great chance to play Fire Pro Wrestling. I wish that would come to the Xbox, which is what I have. But hey, that's what it is.
Phil Spencer needs to get on that. So that's the next thing we'll complain about for Phil to listen to. Yes. So
no, dead. The game is it was dead the day they announced it. So there's no purpose for it anymore.
You know what? But you know what it is? People are just getting tired of the repetition. It's not just them. They're not the only ones. We just saw this, not to go too far off of wrestling, but EA with the Battlefield 5 and talking about how they're seeing very low pre-order ratings. So they're trying to figure out what's going on. And it's just, people are just getting tired of it. Like, all right, we're seeing the same old. You know, and I have a feeling Call of Duty is going to fall in that same boat, even worse, because it's not even having all the modes that they usually have. You know, unless you're really into zombies, this game ain't going to offer much. But they're all in a rut, and I think people are just wising up to it now and realizing, yeah, this isn't worth it. Why am I giving all this money and you're charging for DLC? Because we talked about it before, the guys people probably really want are not going to be in this. They're going to be people that you're going to have to pay in DLC.
Ricochet. He definitely will be DLC.
You know what I mean? It's like,
yep, Ricochet. Keith Lee won't even be in the game. They're gonna be like, "Who the hell is that?" Well, it don't matter. You can create them.
Yeah, I get that exactly. You can create all these people, but that's the whole thing. It's like, it costs too much. And then all these nickel and dime and get this, get that. No, for what? The game is still the same old game. Don't need it.
Dean Ambrose is outdated already in the game.
Yeah, he's already outdated. He's already outdated. And then that's the other thing. They don't even bother updating stuff. So it's like months in, you're like, look, we've already heard about this game, right? You would think they would at least update it to have some of it, and they don't do it. So you'll see guys that would, whether I remember with the Wyatt family and stuff, like, oh, they changed their look. They changed this like months before the game was released. You couldn't just make that tweak. Nope. We already sent it in. Oh, yeah, we know you sent it in. We're not saying on this. What about a patch? There's always a day one patch. You can't patch it. You can't fix that. Oh, they don't have a team that deals with that. They don't do that. And that's why 2K was talking about making it not making it a yearly thing. Remember? They were talking about maybe they're going to drag it out and do something. And fine, go ahead. Do something like that. But you got to make sure you have somebody that's always updating it, you know, and adding new content. You know, game as a service type of deal. You got to do something like that, because if you just drop it down, like, yeah, we'll put this game the way it is on the market and let it sit there for 2 years, it's outdated within a month. The way the wrestlers change and move around and stuff, and they still haven't talked about if they incorporated a draft, because that wasn't in the last one either. You know, it's again, just upsetting. It's just upsetting to the point that it's like not even worth arguing anymore. It's like you just let it come out and let it fade out. So.
Yeah, and one thing I will say to go along to what you said about them, the laziness of the lack of updates. Here's a perfect example. Last year, you have Seth Rollins as your cover athlete. So what does Seth Rollins do? Burn It Down. That's the song. It's updated.
Yeah.
You can't even add the new song in there for that. I mean, you don't need to update the animation, whatever, but you can't add the new song in there for that. Even though it's just that Burn It Down, that impacts the whole song. But whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah. So not excited.
Oh, that's all right.
It's all right. We got Red Dead, so I'm Fire Pro.
Yeah, well, we got a lot coming out of October, so we'll see about that. So I know Dana's having some connection issues. She will be back momentarily. But I did think that was the end of the news segment stuff.
Yeah, that was the last.
Yeah, so we are going to start this discussion about these predictions because there's quite a lot of wrestling going on this weekend, obviously. So the first show, which will be airing tomorrow night on the WWE Network for only $9.99, and no, they aren't paying me to say that either, is NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. The one thing I will say before we get into these predictions, we had this discussion off air, and you can pretty much say why you feel this way, Adam, but you said you don't really feel any excitement for this year's TakeOver. Why is that?
I don't know. I guess because I think it's because of the main event. The main event, even before the whole Aleister Black getting injured and being taken out, I just didn't do anything for me. How many times are we going to see, Johnny Wrestling and Tommaso Ciampa have a match? We've seen multiple matches. They've had amazing matches, but I just don't want to keep seeing it because we know the end result. They're going to give it to Johnny. It's going to happen. So I was like, all right, squash that, whatever. And then that feud with EC3 and Velveteen, I felt like it really hasn't brewed up to anything. Like when he was doing, Velveteen was doing the whole thing with Ricochet, they were having some great matches back and forth. They were doing some other tag matches, and there was some interference and great promos back and forth. We're not really seeing that. I watched last week and wasn't too much in there. I'm like, I'm not excited for this. It's like, I'm sure it'll be a good match, but I just don't care who wins or loses. Like, just whatever. So, and then Ricochet, I think he's finally getting his title shot, right? That's one of the ones. So against Adam Cole, that could be a good match. Ricochet's amazing, and Adam Cole's pretty good too. So it's just, I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I know it's going to be good. It's definitely going to be better than SummerSlam. It always is. It's always better than the main pay-per-view. It's just something, I don't know, something's missing for me to get like, wow, I can't wait to see it. I'm going to watch it, but I just don't have that wow factor. I don't know. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get what you're saying. What I said off the air before, there doesn't seem to be any particular like dream match, anything that's built up for a long time. Like, it would have been one thing if they had Gargano versus Ciampa held off until Brooklyn. That would have been a long time to wait. So I could see why they didn't do that. And they've had some epic matches since then. So it's kind of a thing of how can they top it at this point, because they've already put on a hell of a show the last couple times. Thing is, I feel like I could watch those two fight, to fight forever. I could see them put on another great match. It would have been better if Aleister had been part of it, because it would have added a different element to it. Yeah, I don't know, like, maybe just don't make that the main event, and then that'll kind of freshen things up a little for the card, but I don't see what you replace the main event with. So
yeah, I understand exactly what you both are saying. Doesn't really feel, I mean, obviously, as we already mentioned, it's still going to be a good event overall. It's just that it doesn't really feel like it is a big deal. And I know that I can speak to this personally as well as Ricky. I personally think we went to the best NXT TakeOver they ever had when we went to when we was there in person. And even Triple H has said, this is the best card that you're gonna see in a long time. So yeah, it's hard to capture that, make it special every year, but it's still gonna be a good show, no doubt about it. And I definitely 100% believe it's gonna be better than SummerSlam. So I'll say that much at the very least. But let's go ahead and let's start to get into some of these matches. So there are 6 matches listed. Okay, the first match, we have Pete Dunne defending his United Kingdom Championship against Zach Gibson. So who do y'all have winning that match? I'll go to you first, Adam.
I guess Pete Dunne. I just don't. there's no one right now that, when it comes to representing that UK title, that I think is better. I mean, he's great on the mic and he's great in the ring. So I don't see any reason to take it off. I mean, that was the whole reason why they took it off of Bates. Just his promo work and stuff just wasn't there. And if you want somebody to be the ambassador, the spokesperson right now, carrying this title, you need somebody who can talk. Besides working in the ring, because Bates was amazing, no doubt. I mean, he was amazing in the ring, but Dunn's a total package. He's great, so I see Dunn winning.
Oh yeah, sounds good. How about you, Ricky?
Yeah, I agree with Adam. I think that that Dunn should retain. This will probably be more of a showcase for Zach Gibson as a solid contender. But at the end of the day, it should be Dunn retaining. And I noticed that we're not going to get to actually see that match tomorrow because it's going to be taped for a future NXT episode. So that's one thing.
Not on the card?
No, like I noticed. I was looking. I was looking right on Wikipedia, and it says indicates the match is taped for broadcast on a future episode of NXT.
Okay.
So
my fault.
So that's one thing to take into consideration for any of you who are listening. If you go to the Wikipedia page for TakeOver Brooklyn 4, be aware of spoilers because that's going to be revealed. I guess that's probably going to be on this coming Wednesday's episode for all we know.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've had times where Wikipedia was wrong, and it'll say certain things and certain people did this and that. I'm like, well, no, because anybody can update. But yeah, that's kind of upsetting though that they moved that match, especially because it's a title match. And to move a title match to a taped show, it's like, but people are gonna know the results. Why would they care then for this title match? I don't know.
Well, my pick, obviously, Pete Dunne. And I say that because, I mean, he's defended the title every once in a while, but I think they want to build it up to give him somebody who can actually pose a real threat. I don't know if Zach Gibson is going to be the person that does that.
I feel like he's going to have that belt until they figure out what kind of UK TV deal they're doing, because they've been constantly, they got the tournament they just did again, and it's like, all right, what's happening and what's going on with this TV deal? So
well, here's the question though: do they even need the TV deal, or can they just have these guys in NXT?
Well, they sort of did that. I mean, think about most of the guys that were like the Sanity, they were in that. And now they're here in the WWE, and there was a few others that have sprinkled in through. Just because, I mean, you want to keep these guys working. Look at Dunn. Dunn's on this show. He's supposed to just be doing UK shows. So I don't know. It's been very on and off about what they're doing over there, because they just had that other UK Championship tournament. Remember, they had that other little show there, and they said, "Oh yeah, we're going to be doing all these shows and this and that." I was like, "When's that happening? When are we seeing all of this?" They have their own general manager. Remember, they had the other guy that came out, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to be the GM here." And I was like, okay, well, when does this start?
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. To be determined. All right, let's go on to the next match. We have Velveteen Dream versus EC3. All right, this is going to be an interesting match. So, Ricky, who was your pick for this particular match?
I mean, it's hard for me to really put a really good prediction in on it because I didn't get to see what led up to this match. Again, I've been really out of the loop as far as these weekly shows. I would say Velveteen wins, but I mean, has EC3 had an important win since getting?
Nope.
No, he hasn't.
So that might be a reason to give him to give EC3 the win.
And the rumor was a while ago that after the whole Ricochet feud, that Velveteen was going to get called up. And that didn't happen. He's still there, and now he's doing the thing with EC3. So I definitely think EC3 is going to win this one. So Velveteen has that time to bump up. Time for him to move him up.
That's true. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I totally forgot about that Velveteen was rumored to be getting that call, and it might have just been that they wanted to wait until Brooklyn, let him put EC3 over, and then, next night or whatever, go up to Raw or SmackDown. Yeah, I'll say EC3. That makes sense.
Yeah, we'll see about that. How about you, Adam? Who was your pick?
Same thing, EC3. EC3 hasn't had a big match. He hasn't really done anything, and besides cut a few promos here and there, and that's pretty much it. I mean, nothing's really happened for him. So he's been putting a lot of other guys over. So it's his time. It's his time, just like it's Velveteen's time to move up. So I'm sure it's going to be a good match. They're going to put on a good match, but I definitely see EC3 winning. So
interesting. Well, Velveteen and EC3 were both in that North American title ladder match that they had. And of course, we've already seen Velveteen feud with Ricochet. He lost that match. So obviously, I kind of feel like, I mean, I don't really know if it's wise to have Velveteen continue to lose at the same time EC3 hasn't won a match yet of importance. Obviously, he's beat some people on TV, obviously, but this is actually an important matchup against Velveteen Dream. So if I had to make a prediction, I don't really know when they're going to call Velveteen Dream up. I don't know if this is going to happen, next year or later this year. I have no idea. So I would say EC3 definitely needs the win if they're actually going to do something with him in NXT. Because, I mean, the way I look at it, he can lose as well and still go to the main roster. So, but if I say anyone that they're going to probably do something with, I would say EC3 as well. So that's my pick, EC3. Okay, I see what's going on with that. So let's move on to the next match.
Mm-hmm.
We have the NXT Tag Team Championship match. The Undisputed Era, featuring Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, will be defending the titles against Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven. I want to go ahead and go first. Obviously, Tyler Bate and Trent Seven won the titles when they had that UK special. And I honestly think that was done only to bolster interest in that particular special. So now that they obviously still have this feud with these guys, I think Undisputed Era keeps the belts, wins this match, and that will make up for the fact that they lost the titles before to this team. But yeah, I say Undisputed Era wins hands down. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, Undisputed Era. I just can't. This is a continuation from that UK tournament, because remember they lost the belt to Mustache Mountain, and then when they went back to do the NXT here, then they wound up winning it back. So I don't see them losing it yet. No, it's Bobby Fish is still hurt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think yeah. So if anything, that's probably a blessing for Roderick Strong, because it gives him something to do. Because for a while they didn't know what the hell they were doing with him. So this helps out. But yeah, I don't know. This is one of those matches. Same thing where I'm like, whatever. This is probably why I'm not too excited about it. Because if it was maybe a three-way and they had Altars of Pain and some other stuff, back before those guys got called up, or Sanity, be fun. But this.
No, Adam. You have to realize this is the era of the Mighty and Heavy Machinery and War Raiders and Street Profits and all these other teams that I don't care about.
Oh, Street Profit's the worst. Street Profit is the worst out of that group.
Yeah, this is one thing. I don't want to go off topic, but I just want to say I find it ridiculous how every time you have these black wrestlers competing, they got to dance or they got to do something. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Because I saw the Street Profits on NXT this past week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why can't these guys just wrestle? Why you got to dance and act like you got swagger and style? Just beat up.
It's too much. It's too much. All the dancing and all the, and even during the match, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah,
it's like Rich Swann never left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I just don't get it. I don't get it. How about you, Ricky? Who was your pick for this match? Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era. They gotta retain. I think that had Mustache Mountain not already taken the belts from them one time before, I could see this being a way to kind of introduce people to them as a team, but that novelty has worn off already, and they got to continue having an Undisputed Era being a pretty dominant stable. So I think they're going to continue their run.
And if they really wanted to make that an opportunity of like, oh wow, they could lose this match, it would have been against War Raiders. Because then we're like, oh wow, all right, then this is gonna be legit. But this Mustache Mountain thing now,
right? Because you could see that it could go either way, but like we already seen it with Mustache Mountain, so
yeah. No, I agree with that, and I will admit this. I'm a huge fan of the Undisputed Era. Part of me feels like I cannot wait for these guys to get to the main roster. But then when I see how WWE has handled tag teams on the main roster, I like, maybe they need to stay in NXT for a little while. So let them keep the belts until you are confident that they can move up maybe next year. We'll see.
I think Undisputed Era can actually survive a call up to the main roster if the four of them stay together and they just go and they start just, destroying everyone, all that stuff, just interfering in matches and stuff and ganging up on people. If it's the four of them, they're fine. It's when it's the thing is that what we see is with like the Revival and with American Alpha and Authors of Pain, and all this, like these teams that are in twos, they get buried. Nothing happens to them. Even like Sanity is a team of three, I believe, on the main roster, and barely hear about them. But I think I think Undisputed Era would be too good to ignore. I think that they'd have to be booked a little bit better. I would say that's just kind of my.
You would hope.
I would hope so, but yeah, let's see.
Or just give Adam Cole a haircut and call him CM Punk too, because they could be brothers. I mean.
Well, I will say now that you've said that, Ricky. Now what's going to happen? They will split them up. They'll send two of them to SmackDown and the other two to Raw. So,
oh boy. and don't forget that the whole idea of sending Roderick Strong to 205 Live, that could always happen.
They teased that. Remember when he was there for that tournament for the title?
Yeah.
But again, I think was that. Yeah, because he was still part of. Bobby Fish was still hurt. So he was still doing it.
Yes, he was. So is everything all right now, Dana?
Yeah, everything is okay. It's just a weird thing. We had a fire previously and it knocked out all the connections.
Oh, whoa, uh-oh. Well, that to be, hey, take the necessary precautions over there. We don't want no incidents to happen.
Yeah, that's what happens when you live in Hawaii next to a volcano. You should move. You should move to the mainland.
Oh, all right. So just to recap real quick, we gave our predictions for the Undisputed Era, which is Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong versus Mustache Mountain, Tyler.
Well, you gotta say it right, Roderick Strong.
Oh, there you go, Roderick Strong.
Strong. You gotta squint your eyes. Strong.
There you go. Yeah, but they're defending the tag titles against Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. So who is your pick for that match?
Roderick.
There you go.
Strong.
There you go. Strong. That sounds good. And before that, we also did our predictions for Velveteen Dream versus EC3. Now, who was your prediction for that?
Dream.
See that? So one person did choose Dreams. Just so you know, that's good because we all can't agree on the same person every time. So
it can be. No, it can be Brock Lesnar. So
yes.
Brock is gonna win.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay, so the next matchup we have is the NXT North American Championship. We have Adam Cole defending against Ricochet. Now, I'm going to go to Dana first because I think I know who. I'm going to shock some people with my choice, but go ahead, Dana.
I see that right there. Oh, can I say I want them to both win, and I don't care because it'd be a great match anyway. But if I had to choose, I'm gonna go with Adam Cole.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Adam Cole. The thing is that Ricochet, he doesn't need. I mean, it would be lovely if he has the belt. But right now it's a little too early, and I'm okay with him losing. So. I know the match is going to be spectacular either way, and the fans will end up being the winner. So I'm going to go with Adam Cole, baby. But wait. See, this is where I'm like muddled because I do feel that Adam Cole might get that call. And then he'll disappear into the lands of no one cares when he's in Raw.
But that's the thing, though. Since he's tied with the other guys, if he gets called up, then they get called up. I don't see them just splitting him off. Like, all right, there goes that.
I can see them putting them up. Absolutely.
Yeah. So then if that's the case, then they can't. That means they're going to lose the title. You think they're going to lose their title to that Mustache Mountain?
Yeah. See, I really see that happening now more than.
And remember, Bobby Fish is still hurt. So you're bringing up a tag team that's sort of not really complete. Because the other member of the tag team is hurt, and you have Roderick Strong just filling in. He's not really part of that tag team. He's just filling in, and they always bring that up. Yeah, that's why Bobby Fish is always there. They don't have him sitting at home watching on TV. When they show the group hanging out, you see Bobby Fish, and that's rare. Usually, the guy's not there.
Well, here's the question: how long is he going to be out for? How much time has passed?
That I don't know. I forgot how severe it was. His injury. I know it's multiple months, and it's been multiple months. So who knows? Maybe he's ready, and he jumps in there, and then if that happens, then yeah, I could see the whole group coming up. But
yeah, I see. Yeah, but I can see that still happening because once you get called up, I don't really see them caring about where you was previously established, and we've seen that with Author of Pain and. With the other people. So
what have you seen from Authors of Pain? Because now a whole lot of nothing.
Well, I have seen Authors of Pain jobbing to Titus and what's his name?
Apollo Crews.
So that's horrible.
Yeah, and remember Sanity with that whole Nikki Cross thing. Nikki's supposed to be there, but where is she?
Oh well, wherever she is at, obviously.
She's on that. What? Speaking of her, did you see when they announced the Evolution at pay-per-view? Yeah. She was there. She was on stage.
She was there, but where have we seen her on Raw or SmackDown? We haven't. So she exists, but they are not doing anything with her. If she's going to just be in the tournament thing, then fine. But why even say she was called up? Why does not just make it a big surprise? And oh my God, it's Nikki Cross. They botched that like they've done a lot of these call-ups. So I can see them botching this one. So yeah, Adam Cole is getting that call-up. Sorry.
So for what it's worth, I looked it up, and Bobby Fish he suffered the injury back in March, and they gave him about a 6-month timetable, and that's approaching very close. 6 months would mean a return in September. So just a heads up.
All right. So yeah, if he's comes back a little sooner, a few weeks, that would be a big surprise. Let's say if they lose and they're like, oh, consoling everybody, and then all of a sudden him and Riley just attack Roderick Strong and say he's the weakest link because he got pinned, and they kick him out of the group. You know, and they do their Red Dragon finish on him. You know, so that would be cool. You know, they could do that, and then bring all three up, because then they lost their title, and then later on that night, Adam Cole loses to Ricochet, and then they bounce.
All right, so that's a good prediction for Dana. So Adam, you basically saying that you also are rooting for Adam Cole to win or lose?
No, I want Ricochet to win.
Oh,
yeah, I want Ricochet.
Ooh.
Prince Puma, Prince Puma. I want him to win, and the Pentagon Jr. is going to come and help him. But no, I want him to win. They, from what we've read online and just the reports of just his demeanor from other wrestlers that have said it, you know, it's like they love him. You know, the creative loves him, and Triple H, everybody, they're like, he's a team player, and this and that. And we've already seen how they treat people that they really like. You know, you become one of the boys. And it looks like he's going to become one of the boys, and he's by himself. Adam Cole has a crew. He doesn't really need the belt. He's got the crew. He's got buddies, you know. But Ricochet, that's a main event right there. Every match he's going to have is going to be something to watch just because it's Ricochet. So, yeah, that makes sense. I think, just put it on him. Adam Cole, I was surprised when he won that belt, when they first announced it. I was like, damn, really? I thought maybe Velveteen, out of everybody, was going to win it. Because at the time, Adam Cole was only there a few months.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see about that. How about you, Ricky? What was your pick, Ricochet or Adam Cole?
I'm going to go with Ricochet.
Wow.
And you guys completely changed my mind, because I was going to go conservative there and say, Adam Cole retains and keeps Undisputed Era dominant. But I think that this is an important chance to showcase Ricochet as one of the brightest stars on the brand. And we've already seen what we've seen from Adam Cole, and Ricochet's had some good matches, but it's time for a big win for him. A marquee win, and I think that this would be one, definitely. And I feel like this is a show where there's got to be some title changes, so this will be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say, Ricochet, new North American champion, and he's one of my favorites. So I'd love it.
All right, so those are great picks, great explanations. And I like that Ricky said that he did not want to go with a conservative pick and say Adam Cole. But guess what? I'm going for Adam Cole. Now, let me explain to you why I'm going for Adam Cole. Ricochet is fantastic. As y'all said, y'all made very good points as to why he should win. Why I say Adam Cole wins is because what are you going to do with Ricochet? Right? I mean, I feel like this feud between him and Adam Cole is only just getting started. So I don't think you need to have Adam Cole lose the belt right away. This is something that could continue well into the next takeover, and then you can have him lose to Ricochet. But unless, of course, if you're just that adamant and that quick to get a belt on Ricochet, then I would say go ahead. But for some reason, I feel like if you want to build that title, at least have him have a successful title defense, because he didn't defend the title at the last event at all. So I say let him have a successful title defense, and then, of course, Ricochet gets a rematch, Ricochet wins, and then if you want, they can have one more encounter, one final encounter after that, if you want them to have another rematch. But all I'm saying is that I 100% am behind the hype for Ricochet. I just don't think you need to put a belt on him immediately. That's all I'm saying.
It's an excellent point there. Yeah.
But no, was Adam going to say something? Oh, no,
No, it's just my whole theory is that if he loses, I think he's going to be moved up. That's under the idea that the tag team lose and they all come up. I just think that because think about it. If let's say he does win, we know it's not going to be clean. It's going to be some kind of run-in. That's just what groups do. They run in and help each other out, and especially that one. You know, and if they've done a few no contests where they just run in and interfere and do the whole thing. So I don't want to see that, which is why I'm really hoping that Ricochet wins, because we won't get that. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll check that out for sure. All right, so let's go on to the next match. We have I heard Adam is looking forward to this match. The NXT Women's Championship match. Shayna Baszler defending the title against Kairi Sane. Okay, Adam, who was your pick for this match?
Shayna.
Whoa.
Shayna's my pick. Shayna's the best. I love Shayna. Shayna's great. I hope everything works out for Shayna. You know, I don't want her to get called up to the main roster yet. You know, I think it's too soon. But yeah, I would like Shayna to win this one. That's what I'm going with. Shayna.
Absolutely. Okay. How about you, Ricky?
I'm actually gonna go the other way and say Kairi Sane.
Ooh, whoa, uh-oh.
Oh, wait, I forgot to say why I think that. Only because Kairi, she already beat her. And they keep saying, oh, yeah, this is the person that holds a win on her. Okay, well, now it's going to flip. And now it's going to be a 1-1 type of deal.
50-50 booking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is again with me going with the whole thing of, like, there's got to be some title changes. And so I'll say that Kairi gets this, and with the possibility of Shayna getting it back at a later date, but to keep that kind of going. But yeah, I'll stick with the Kairi Sane prediction here.
Sounds good. How about you, Dana?
Okay, see, this is how I see it going down, all in my head. And this ties into SummerSlam really quickly. So Shayna wins because Shayna's the best right now, and I love her, and she's amazing. Anyway, so Shayna wins, right? And then she goes on SummerSlam, and it's the 4 horsewomen of the UFC versus the 4 horsewomen of the WWE. And they need that belt right there to show, like, their dominance. So, yeah, she's going to win.
Sounds good to me. I will say I do believe that is going to definitely happen, but I think that is more likely happen at Evolution because they haven't announced anything for that yet. Because, I mean, all the others are going to be preoccupied at SummerSlam. They can definitely have some type of, altercation or confrontation at SummerSlam, though.
But here's the thing. No offense to Evolution. I'm sure it's going to be great. Wrestling as it is today. Woo! But SummerSlam is a much larger stage. And we have 2 female wrestlers that was just signed. Remember from the UFC that were both best friends with Ronda Rousey. What better way to introduce them to the audience than at SummerSlam as opposed to Evolution, where I'm sure nobody's really going to watch anyway.
Oh, ouch. That hurts. I thought everybody here agreed they were going to watch Evolution.
Here's the thing. I would see that as a yay thing, but we've seen the Greatest Royal Rumble, and that was such a debacle that for me, it's already been soured to watch Evolution. And I'm already angry at the fact that this is not something that is an original idea that WWE really wanted to put on. It's because of the fans' outcry from the Greatest Royal Rumble being an all-male thing. So already I'm angry. So I would prefer SummerSlam.
I like that. I like that explanation. We'll absolutely see what happens because only got about 48 hours to find out what happens. As for my pick for this match,
it's starting right now. You didn't know they extended it like 12 hours. Ronda's on right now.
Well, in that case, we need to hurry up and end this show if it's starting now. So, we'll see. So here's the thing. Much like I mentioned with the feud with Ricochet and Adam Cole. I don't see a rush for them to give it to Kairi Sane. I do think Kairi Sane is going to be who eventually gets that belt. But again, I don't really know what their plans are because of the other woman that they called up. Her name escapes me at the moment. There's someone that's better than Asuka. I don't know if that particular wrestler is getting called up to the main roster or NXT.
Oh no, everyone goes through the NXT. So she's probably gonna be in the crowd. You know how they do. Just like what's his name, the guy from Evolve. Oh, I can't believe I forgot his name.
What's his name?
Riddle.
Matt Riddle.
No, Lee. No, well, Matt Riddle.
Oh, Keith Lee.
Keith Lee. Matt Riddle is going to be the
Keith Lee was already shown in the crowd.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He was shown, but he doesn't even have a match on this. You would think he would have had a debut match by now.
Well, he did have a match on TV, but it wasn't nothing on TakeOver.
They didn't show it.
Yeah, so well, we'll see about that.
Were you guys thinking of the Io Shirai? I think her name.
Yes. That's her. Yep, that's her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, Matt Riddle. I'm hyped. That's gonna be awesome. Matt Riddle's awesome.
So, if I had to give a pick for this particular event, I'm gonna go ahead and say I think the winner of that match, it probably will be Shayna Baszler, but I don't think that this feud with Kairi Sane is over. I mean, this is probably going to continue because who else are they going to build to have her face? It would have to be somebody they call up, unless they want to give some of the other people on that roster a shot. But I think this is going to continue even after, regardless of who wins it. But I say Shayna Baszler is probably going to retain. So we'll see.
Yeah. Shayna.
Right. So
Evolution is a mystery.
It's a mystery, all right. All right, so and now we go to the main event, and I'm pretty sure we all are going to have something to say about this because I know that Adam is going to be a little angry because his boy is not in the match, but hey, the match is probably going to be better because Aleister Black isn't in the match.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be in this match. He's going to be a filler. Yes,
so we have a last man standing match for the NXT Championship between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. So, Dana, I'm going to go to you first. I know that you loved the last match that these two gentlemen had. So, who do you think is going to win the NXT title tomorrow night?
Oh, Aleister Black.
He's not in it.
No, he's not there.
Oh, wait. Wait, I thought you said Aleister. I'm sorry. It's so choppy. What did you say?
No. He was supposed to be in it, but then he got that groin injury type of thing, so they wrote him off. Right. So he
serious who got hit in the parking lot situation.
Yeah.
He was attacked by the same one who attacked Hideo Itami.
No, but here's the thing. Here's would be really great. What if it was all a work and he ends up competing?
Well, he has groin injury, so that's legit. That's legit. No, he's gotta go get that fixed.
That it's actually a legit injury because the way how they went really extra with this, instead of just saying, "Oh, it's an injury," with that whole parking lot situation and William Regal running around looking like a hot mess. Are we sure that it's real?
Well, before the report was that he got hurt during a show. He was on the rope and he got hurt.
We all get hurt.
But he was going to be out. He needed surgery hurt.
I think they could be taking some very necessary precautions to make sure it's not any further damage.
Right, but here's what threw me is that if it's an injury, why not just say it's an injury and why make this over dramatical thing with the parking lot?
Because that's what they do. That's how they run
people
off.
Not always.
What? They've done this since the beginning of time. When someone mysteriously gets attacked in the back, or gets hit by a car, and other things, you got to take time off.
Fine. I just felt that they went really extra with this to the point where it was maybe he got injured, but it's not that serious. But fine. Who was the other people in the match? I forgot.
That's it. Johnny Gargano and Ciampa. That's it.
Oh yeah. See, this has been the third feud, fourth we're on now of this happening.
Just keeps going.
Can someone get called up? I need someone to get called up. anyone.
Yeah, and that's what I said before. It's just they work great together, but this is almost like the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn type of thing. Like,
Yeah.
how many times do they have to keep having matches? We get
Yeah.
it. They're boys. They know how to work together. All right, fine. I don't need to keep seeing this
And
over
this
and
is
over
why
again.
I wish that Alistair wasn't injured and this could just be a three-way and Alistair could win. Because I love them. I love the storyline. They tell really great stories with their matches. And I think it's a masterclass in wrestling. But I'm tired of the class. It needs to graduate. Someone has to go away. So I'm gonna just choose Ciampa. He's gonna win. He's gonna get called up. We'll see him on SummerSlam. Have a great day.
Well, he can't win and get called up with the title.
He can if he can and then he drops it later.
I don't know. But if he's getting called up, then there's no dropping. I mean, they're not going to do that. They never do that. That's just how it works. They could still do a three-way match. They just have to throw somebody else in there.
They need Alistair. This is why he's
Oh,
not
they can
been
get somebody
Rollins.
else.
Seth Rollins was called up as NXT champion.
That's true. There you go. Boom.
I don't remember. No, wait. How did he? I don't remember that because when I remember they came up, all three of them came up at the same time.
They all came up. Rollins was the first NXT champion, and the thing is, they didn't really acknowledge that while he was on the main roster. But you'll remember that the Shield.
He did both. He was doing both at the time.
Well, he came back to NXT with the Shield, over his shoulder, and he had the NXT championship. It was only in NXT that he acknowledged that he was the champion there. When he was on the main roster, it wasn't mentioned, but he was called up as champion. I mean, granted, that was, 6 years ago, so they probably don't do that anymore. But
now before NXT really broke up and that they actually had a pay-per-view. That's the thing. You can't promote this match, have it happen, and then all of a sudden he pops up on the other show. It's like, all right, well, now everybody knows because there was an actual pay-per-view event the night before. NXT back then wasn't the NXT that it is now.
That is very true.
A lot of the NXT wrestlers aren't what they were back then.
Oh yeah.
Oh
no. I mean, they sort of were during that time, and then it's just they opened up the wallet. That's pretty much what they did. And once Triple H took over, he was like, all right, I'm opening up the wallet. And instead of just getting guys green and trying to build them, we're going to grab some of these good indie wrestlers, put them in there. Yeah. Remember, it was just sprinkles. It was just sprinkling some of them. Now it's just like, come on, everybody, come on in. Now it's very rare to see just green guys who are like, yeah, I have no wrestling experience, but I have a great look. I think Mojo Riley was like the last one.
So do you think the days? Well, no, I can't even say Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan was an indie wrestler. Darn.
He was indie, yeah. Red Dragon, right? No, American Dragon. That was it.
Don't worry, that won't be in WWE 2K19.
That should be.
It will not be. So Dana had Ciampa winning.
Ciampa.
Okay. How about you, Adam?
I don't even care. Like we've seen this too many times. I feel like Gargano is going to win on because he's lost some of these big matches. Remember how the match before ended, where he lost? Well, that was a crazy match. That was an amazing match where he could have won. He could have ended it, and then next he gets cocky and does the whole thing, brings him back off the stretcher. Remember, throws him in the ring, and then next he gets hit, and that's it, and it's over, and he loses that match. So, I see Gargano. He's due a big win. So I see Johnny Wrestling winning this, and that's it. Gargano can go to 205. They need some good heels. He's a little guy. I don't know if they would move him to Raw or SmackDown just because he is a small guy. And
you said Gargano can go to 205.
No, Ciampa.
Oh,
Ciampa.
yeah. Okay.
Johnny Wrestling, I think he's going to win this one. And then that's it. And then they move him up, and he's going for a different title. Yeah, it's a short run, but what are you going to do? Because if he wins, are you going to continue this feud with him and Johnny Wrestling? Come on now. We've seen that. You can't keep doing this. It has to end at some point. We thought it was going to end that time when they had that big feud. Remember when he came back from being fired and the whole thing, and that didn't end there. It just kept going.
They can keep doing this, and it's proven that they have done this. So
let me say my pick real quick, and then I'll go to Ricky. Because this is a last man standing match, I will say right now, let me just go ahead and say this. I think the match is definitely going to be one of those matches where they talk about at the end of the year, this could be one of the matches of the year, because we know that these guys can both work their asses off. So the match is going to be great. With that said, if you ask me what I want to happen, I want the speculation about Aleister Black to be correct. And I want him to show up at the end of that match and knock out both of these guys so that there is no winner declared, but that's not going to happen. So if I had to make a pick, I'm going to say, yeah, Gargano needs to win, because you've had him lose way too many times. You had him lose to Andrade when he had a title match against him.
A bunch of times. He lost. He never beat him. Yeah.
So I feel like this is the last man standing match. The stakes can't get any higher. You have to have Gargano win this, unless you have whoever the next person is that they're bringing to NXT gets involved in that match. But I say Gargano should win, probably will win. So,
and that's the thing. I thought about that too. I'm like, who could they have run in? But you can't have somebody brand new run in a title match.
Yeah, unless that person is going to be in the title picture.
Yeah, and then that's just jumping and skipping over everybody else. So then it would have to be somebody else that's deserving. But who? And that's why I think it would be up to the GM if they want to throw the twist on it. It's like, hey, this is still going to be a triple threat match. And then they introduce somebody who's deserving. Maybe it's somebody who already had a match. Maybe it is Velveteen. You know, he lost the other one, but he's going to get a shot here. Or he won the other match and say, hey, I'm ready. I can go or do something. Throw a twist in. Still make it a triple threat.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely should.
What's his name? He's not the big dude. The one
Lars Sullivan?
Yeah, Lars Sullivan. He doesn't have a match on this.
He doesn't have a match.
They can easily.
Well, yeah, he also lost his match last time against Aleister.
Yeah. He lost his match against Aleister, but he's still up there. He's still considered like, one of the top guys there. So they could easily throw him in there and he could toss them around. It'll be fun.
Sure. Hey, anything can happen, but I'm gonna say that I do believe that Gargano's definitely gonna win, but we shall see what happens. How about you, Ricky? Who was your pick for this match?
I'm gonna say that Boston's own Tommaso Ciampa retains the championship.
Okay,
I think he retains the belt.
That sounds good to me.
It's one of those things where, Gargano got the big victory at the WrestleMania weekend show, and they evened the score in Chicago with Ciampa winning that one. So it's like, how's this one gonna go? I think that Ciampa's so damn good as far as being a heel and everything that he needs to have a decent run with the title before him getting the call. So I could see this being Ciampa getting the victory, retaining the belt, and Gargano being the one getting the call afterwards. I mean, because you mentioned Owens and Zayn having their blood feud when they were in NXT. You'll remember, Sami Zayn never got the payoff in NXT. It was he had to wait until he got to the main roster to get that revenge on Owens. And so I think that's going to be what happens here, is that Ciampa gets the last laugh in NXT.
That sounds good to me. Very good explanation. So we'll see what happens. But yes, NXT TakeOver tomorrow night. Definitely look forward to that, because I can guarantee it will be the best show of the weekend. So Now let's go on to Adam's favorite show. It's the big granddaddy of them all, SummerSlam 2018. So this will be some of these we don't have to spend a lot of time on because we already know it's going to be pretty lackluster card if you ask me. So let's start with the first pre-show match. We have the B team, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel defending the Raw Tag Team titles against the Revival. So since this is on the pre-show, and since you have had Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel pretty much go on this winning streak, I'm going to go ahead out on the limb and say I think that the Revival is going to win this match. I don't know what they're doing with the Revival. I mean, if you asked me months ago who was going to take the belts off of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, I would have told you, oh, obviously it's the Authors of Pain. But we see right now what they're doing with Authors of Pain is just totally off the radar. So if I had to say who's going to win this match on the pre-show, I would say the Revival. But we'll see. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, I'll go with Revival because they've had their ups and downs with injuries since they got called up from NXT. And they were trying to give them a little push for a while, and it sort of fizzled out. Remember when they had that at the 25th anniversary show? And DX just like took them to town with Finn Balor, and they did that whole thing. So I'm sure they're like, hey, take one for the team, get this ass whooping, but we'll pay you back. We'll pay you back. And this is it. So they're going to beat the B team. So
absolutely. All right, how about you, Dana? Who was your pick for this match?
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to say the B team. The B team recently had a win. I think their losing streak may be over. And just really quickly, the pre-show is going to be available in VR. So that's going to be a very interesting experience. Stop laughing. They're trying. Stop. They're trying to get people to watch the show. So VR, yay. But no, B team. For me, I just feel that they're getting their break, and they kind of need it, even though the Revival needs it more. The WWE does not seem to respect NXT. So, sorry, B team.
That's fair. Very fair and a very good explanation. How about you, Ricky? Who do you say wins this match?
It's now or never for the Revival. I think it's time for the Revival to finally get something. After getting nothing upon being called up. So I think that they'll take down the B team and become the new tag champions.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yes. Okay, this next match, I think is pretty obvious. I think I know who everybody's going to pick in this match, but I could be wrong. We have the other pre-show match, which is a mixed tag team match. Rusev and Lana versus Andrade, Cien Almas, and Zelina Vega. I'm going to keep mine very short and to the point. Andrade and Zelina, because Andrade is on the rise. They're focusing on him. I saw how they have used Rusev over the last couple of months, and I don't see them have anything really strong for Rusev except for a future feud with Aiden English. So I say Andrade and Zelina. How about you, Dana?
When was the last time Rusev won anything? I do recall when we've actually celebrated a Rusev Day. So I'm going to have to go with Almas just because I just don't feel it's Rusev's time again. But see, SummerSlam would be like the only time for him to win something, since they clearly didn't care about anything during WrestleMania. So I'm going to probably go with Rusev out of pity.
Sounds good. How about you, Adam?
Rusev. I'll go with Rusev. This is just... Then again, who knows? I mean, I hate the whole thing with Rusev altogether. Everything rubs me the wrong way. Like, whether he's staying, he's going, he wants to leave, he wants out, he wants to stay. That's fake news. It's not. All of it's just. I don't understand. I don't know what to believe. I would like to think that because he's so funny. Remember when he did that Southpaw wrestling? Those little skits on YouTube. He's great. He's an awesome talent. If they let him just talk and be the character that he was on that, just funny. He's such a talent, and I don't. What? What, Dana? You cut out.
No, I was gonna say they'll be really funny when he's on Total Divas. So that's your Rusev Day, right?
Nobody watches that. No one watches that.
Yeah, Rusev Day.
Apparently, a lot of people, because of those people, it's been renewed for 2 more seasons. So screw all y'all.
Whoa.
I know a lot of wrestling fans. I don't know anyone that's watching, or at least they're not admitting that they watch it.
The people who are in love with John Cena and thought that Nikki Bella's storyline was real.
That Ms. and Mrs. or whatever it's called. Do you watch that?
See, I think Miz's show is much better than Total Divas.
But what is just them living their life? That's what I don't get about these reality shows. It's like they're not doing anything but living their own life, and we're watching them. We're like voyeurs. Why? I can understand if it's a band and it's like, all right, now they're on the road and we're getting to see the whole behind the scenes, setting up, prepping, coming up with music, going to studio. Okay, that type of reality show. But this is just a guy and his wife and his kid. I don't see it. Why should we care? Maybe
it's a form of escapism. I don't really know. But they do have
entertainment. That's the whole point of wrestling. That's the escapism right there. We're seeing all these crazy men beat the shit out of each other and no one's bleeding or getting bruises. That's amazing. So you want to get a guy in the corner and do a 10 punches to the face and not a mark on him. That's amazing. That's escapism.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah. We'll see.
Do you watch, Rich? Do you watch these reality shows? Like, is that?
No. I haven't been watching any of these shows as of late. So
just any reality show. Like, are you into that genre of TV?
Not anymore. I have seen some questionable shows in the past, but
which one did you ever watch? I'll tell you. Like, for example, the only one that I watched was Gene Simmons' Family Jewels.
Whoa.
That was Kiss, and that was just same thing. I wanted to see like all the touring and this and that, and how did he juggle that with his life and his kids? They weren't little kids; they were teenagers, young adults, and they were running around. And how do they deal with having a famous rock star dad, going to school, and they have a bunch of kiss asses around them? So on that's why I watched that. I thought it was funny, to see it. But besides that, I don't watch any of these, the Desperate Housewives or when they did all that Mob Wives and all that.
Yeah.
Jersey Shore, I didn't get that.
Aren't you a fan of Somebody's Housewives, Richard?
Housewives? No.
All of the reality shows are filmed next door to you.
Yeah, Atlanta, right there.
You're right about that. Well, we'll see about that because my time in Atlanta will be coming to an end soon, so we'll see about that.
But then again,
Go ahead, Adam.
It just because we're talking about these reality shows, what follows Raw on the USA? It's that damn reality show of whoever that isn't. That just like a real estate guy?
The Chrisleys.
Yeah, the Chrisleys. That's all it is. He's like a real estate guy to like rich people or something like that. And for some reason, that show keeps getting renewed, and it follows Raw, and it's surviving. So maybe a lot of people that watch wrestling are staying tuned in to watch that.
No, they're just watching something else because they see how bad wrestling is, and they say, well, I got to watch something else to escape from this. So that's what that show is there for.
It's because we all fall asleep during Raw because it's boring.
Right, and it just keeps.
That's right. That's it. That's a great explanation.
Who was it? There was a site that I followed, and they were talking about like bad shows that keep getting picked up, and his theory was, so when you know that the show overruns, a lot of people would set their DVR to record an extra 5 minutes, right? So let's say the show doesn't overrun. That extra 5 minutes then goes into the next show. So then the next show does get some ratings for within the time of the first half of that show that people tuned in, and they count that. So you're giving them ratings every time you set your DVR, whether it's a sport or a certain kind of show or live show, whatever, and you add the extra 5-10 minutes because you're not sure if it's going to start on time or go over. You're helping out the show that follows it because it counts because it's going to record some of that.
Yeah.
I think the true test will be when SmackDown goes to Fox. And if that show does end up super exceeding all expectations, does that then take away viewership from Raw? And if Raw goes down, then Chrisley should go down by that theory.
Well, I just want to make this comment. I think that we can definitely agree that this is a topic that can be discussed at another time. I want to get Ricky's thoughts on this match as well, because we still have about 11 matches to talk about.
11 matches?
Oh, hell yes. Yes. So, Ricky, go ahead. The floor is yours. Who do you think is going to win between Andrade and Zelina versus Rusev and Lana?
Andrade, I think that the Rusev Day movement has lost all of its momentum. They had their chance to capitalize on it back around WrestleMania. They chose not to do it. It's over. Cien Almas and Zelina Vega, they're the future. I think they get the win.
But then what do you do with Rusev?
Nothing.
You do nothing because if you're WWE, you don't give a shit about Rusev. You've made it clear at this point. Maybe you have Aiden English cost the match again, and they split off that thing between Rusev and English. That's something that's possible, but I don't think there is anything for Rusev beyond that. I just don't think they care that much.
Yep, I agree 100% with that because we saw what happened with his match with AJ Styles. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Rusev. Wish him well, but he got Lana, so he's still winning at life. So I don't feel too bad for him. So yeah,
he's getting paid. Remember when they were releasing all those pays and stuff? What these guys are making? Both of them are making bank. She's getting a check too. So they're doing all right.
Absolutely.
I do want to say real quickly, last reality show I watched, Breaking Ground.
Oh yeah, Breaking Ground was great. And then they decided to cancel it after one season. So this is WWE. They make good stuff, and then either it takes forever for it to come back, or it doesn't come back.
They don't call their network shows canceled. They just say they're on hiatus.
Oh yeah, 24.
Yeah, because they can do whatever. Yeah, they bring it back whenever they want. No one's paying them to do it. That's their own creations.
And now we know why they call that show WWE 24, because it will take about 24 months for you to see a new episode. So, yeah, that's exactly what they do. All right, so
I think the only show that remember that tattoo show that Corey Graves had?
Oh yeah, I do remember that show. Yeah, I do remember that.
People, the wrestlers, and then he started going to Comic-Con and stuff, and he just doing all this other weird shit.
Well, now he does all the commentating, so he definitely ain't got time to do nothing else now. Apparently, I guess, but we'll see.
Didn't he want to go back into the ring? Wasn't that the other thing he was talking about? He wanted to wrestle again. Daniel Bryan inspired him.
No. He said that he would love to, but the doctors were like, no, because when Daniel Bryan's neck kind of did that magical thing, he was like, well, maybe I can try, but he's not having the same luck. So just let him do Raw and stay employed.
Yeah, let's let him continue to stay employed and commentate. And in the meantime, let's move on to some of these other matches. I know you guys are trying to avoid the main card, but hey, listen, we gotta talk about this because these are the matches that all y'all want to watch anyway, right? So let's get into this main card. All right, so first and foremost, and oh wait, hold on, this is the pre-show match. Okay, I'm mad now because I didn't realize it. We have the Cruiserweight Championship once again, pre-show. Cedric Alexander defending the title against Drew Gulak. So I want to make two quick comments on this match. Obviously, Cedric Alexander is going to win this match, and I have to ask this match. I have to answer this question. Ask this question. Maybe one of you can answer. Why the hell isn't Mustafa Ali the champion? Because the feud that he has with Itami right now in the matches that they have been putting on, that should be the featured match for that cruiserweight title, in my honest opinion.
Yeah. Well, Mustafa's amazing. You saw the Buddy Murphy matches they were having. Psh, I mean, there's a lot of talent there all together. My issue with this match is, where do you go from here? Think about it. Like, all right, so let's say Alexander defends and he wins, or if he loses, they only have this one title. You know what I mean? It's like, and also, they're the way they run this show, it's very different than all the other shows because it's as if it's its own little bubble. Yeah. They very rarely reference Raw and SmackDown, and it's its own world. So they don't jump ship. And is that going to happen? Can someone run his course of like, all right, you've been champion for a long time, you beat everybody, we're going to call you up. Can you ever see that happening for Alexander or anybody on 205?
No.
I don't see that either. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's almost like if you take a job at 205, are you getting a dead-end job? It's like, all right, you work here and you go for this one title. What happens if I get it? You have it for a while. Then I lose it. You lose it for a while. And can I ever move up and stuff? Did you not see the one title behind it? I mean, what are you talking about? This is it. This is your one-stop shop, you know. Can I ever get moved up? Hey, maybe if the old man, you know, steps down, maybe we could bring you up. I mean, how do you look in an outfit? Like, we got some dancers for, you know, No Way Jose. Can you do that? Can you dance a little bit? Because, I mean, that's the thing. It's, you know, we could put you under a mask. We could do a Rey Mysterio thing, but Ray just came back. So, sorry, we already got our quota of little guys in the main roster. That's the issue I have with this. And the fact that they put it on the pre-show, you said, and another smack in the face. How do you promote something like this and say you respect these little guys, these cruiserweights, and how entertaining and how it's going to steal the show when it's not even on the damn show? That's a smack in the face. And that was the issue that Austin Aries had with it and that Neville had with it. It's like you say that this is going to be on par with the other ones, that this is just a cruiserweight. It's not. It's getting lower billing than when they had the cruiserweight before.
Yep.
You know, those cruiserweight matches before were on the main cards. This is not.
I agree. So you say that Cedric's going to win.
I say they both lost. At this point, they have both lost because no one is going to give a damn unless you follow 205. I follow it, so I give a damn, and I think they both lost. You know, because I don't see any growth. I enjoy the matches. They're all talented wrestlers. Everybody on that card gets time to work and do some amazing matches. That's great. You know, the fact that Triple H said, you know what, he wanted to keep it really separate, which is why you don't see any more 205 matches on Raw and stuff. Okay, but where do you go? There was talks before that they were going to introduce a tag title, right? They do something like that. Okay, what happened with that? That never happened. You know, they need something else going on because having everybody run to the top, and the fact that they don't cross over and they don't do other things, it just seems pointless. It seems like once you get there, then that's it. You're stuck. I mean, it's one of those. But yeah, I mean, there's been some amazing matches, and this match that we're gonna have, Drew Gulak is a great technical wrestler. So many people have been trained by him that's in NXT now. Even the female wrestlers, there was a few that were in the Mae Young Classic. Like they were trained by Drew Gulak, you know. So he's a great trainer. He knows what he's doing. He's great on the mic. I could see him winning, but okay, you know. And Alexander, if he loses, then what? Then he starts feuding with some other people to try to get back up there. But how many times? Then again, who knows? I mean, we had John Cena, 16, 17 titles. That means he lost it 16, 17 times. So
yeah.
You know, but the thing is, at least they made it interesting by jumping ship. You know, this is what I'm getting at. You know, you had the draft. This whole drafting did not impact 205 at all. You know, so they didn't even mention it. They're not part of that draft. You know, so it's like, what are you? You know what? You're just the little people show. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they just did it to so that they can do that. It's like, hey, there's an audience, there's a market for it. We have a network. We can fill this time slot up. We can give that audience what they want. They want to see this high flying and stuff. There you go. Enjoy. That's for you. Is it pointless? Absolutely. But it's for you. You want to see it? Watch that. You want that Lucha Libre experience? Watch this. Enjoy it. But don't expect anything big out of it.
Absolutely. So, Ricky, who was your pick?
I mean, short answer is Cedric Alexander. Long answer is I don't care because the king of the cruiserweights is on the brand, and I haven't watched 205.
Did he leave yet?
Oh, he been gone.
Well, no, he was off TV, but I don't know if they ever did their wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Did they ever get to do that?
They never did that.
He's still under contract.
That's what I'm saying, right? He's still there. So he's just not wrestling, but he's still with them, the company. So he could pop up. Technically, he could pop up.
Well, we'll see about that. It's possible. So how about you, Dana? Who do you have in this match, Cedric Alexander or Drew Gulak?
She's pouring water out the window to put out the fire from the floor.
Yeah, please. Because see, the thing is, I think it's going to be a real great match. I want Cedric Alexander to win, but I don't think anyone is going to care, even though the match is going to be in VR. Yay! But unfortunately, no one's going to care.
Do you have a VR headset?
But I'm going to go with Cedric.
Does anybody have a VR headset here? They can watch it in VR?
No, and nobody, and it won't be worth watching in VR. Sorry for those that do have one. I just have to say that.
It could be fun in VR.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's move on to the next match. We have another match that will also be another snore fest, and I hate to say it because I actually like one of the individuals in this match. We have a singles match between Finn Balor and Baron Corbin. Now, I have said before I'm a Finn Balor fan, but they have done absolutely nothing with Finn Balor. So, and since he's already beaten Baron Corbin at the last pay-per-view, I have to say Baron Corbin is probably going to win the match anyway because 50-50 booking. So I say Baron Corbin wins. How about you, Dana?
Golly. They haven't done anything with Finn, and I don't think they're going to do anything with Finn now, but I really want Finn to win.
Okay. There you go. All right. How about you, Ricky?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that this SummerSlam will mark the 2-year anniversary of the last time we've seen the demon body paint from Finn Balor.
Yep.
That's the last time that Vince McMahon really cared about Finn Balor. But,
well, he said it. He said he's just as good as that whole gimmick he does, but when he takes it off, he looks like a regular little guy.
Yeah. So, but you would think that he would use it more to not look like a regular guy, but I guess it's just like, no. But, yeah, this is very much mid-card hell that Finn is going through. But, yeah, I think he wins the match, Finn Balor.
Interesting. Okay. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, let's go with Finn. I mean, what does he get out of this? Nothing, because isn't Corbin just in limbo? Doesn't he just work for Stephanie and troll Kurt Angle at shows? Like, he doesn't really do anything. He's basically corporate Kane.
Constable Corbin. It's so annoying hearing that. Constable Corbin.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's pointless.
It's you're pronouncing it wrong. It's constipated Corbin.
Constipated Corbin.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like where. So if he wins, does that give him a title shot? No. Does that move him up the ladder? No, because Corbin's not even in the title picture. So.
Well, he can get a shot at any time if he's involved in the Stephanie and the corporation type of stuff.
If they do that, but it's all hearsay that he says that. He's always, remember, Stephanie's not there, so he's like, I was just on the phone with her, and oh, this is lame. All right, we get it. We get it.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad. So I hope he wins, but if he doesn't, whatever, because it's not going to impact him in any way.
Agree. Oh, we'll see. All right, let's go on to the next match. We have the United States Championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy. I'm gonna go ahead and say Shinsuke. How about you, Dana?
I'm going with Shinsuke only because we know Jeff Hardy is injured. I remember that whole thing about the Hardys may both equally end up leaving the company because of their injuries. So I'm going to go with Shinsuke. It's very unfortunate that this time, again, he's going to only win because of an injury. I don't think the WWE is truly behind him and genuinely want him to win. So that's really unfortunate. And yeah, so I'm going to go with Shinsuke just by default.
I do want to throw in a disclaimer and say that I fully expect Randy Orton to get involved in this match and beat the hell out of Jeff Hardy once again, because Randy Orton obviously has no match on the card, but yeah, it's going to happen. That's my guess, though. How about you, Ricky? Who do you have winning this match?
It's Shinsuke. I think he's the one that's going to win the match, retain it. Question is, will he use a low blow to win? Have to wait and find out.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Shinsuke because the thing is, we don't know how severe Jeff is hurt. Because they said before he was banged up and that he was gonna take time off, but he's still wrestling every week. So what the hell? Remember that was during that event when Shinsuke won that quick pin. The only time you ever do something like that is if the person can't work and he's hurt. And it's like, all right, we gotta do a quick run in and a quick pin and let's get it in and out. And then he took that ass whooping from Orton after that. So I'm like, yeah, he's definitely not gonna be on next. He'll be there Tuesday. And I'm like, well, what was the point of that? Why did he take this ass whooping like this? Why did you rush him into something else just to go full circle again? And now we're having that match.
That's a good question.
So what was the whole thing with Randy Orton then? And is that going to come up again? Or how crazy would this be if they did it exactly the same way they did the last one, and it's a quick win for Shinsuke? That would be funny.
Or what if Orton attacks Hardy and takes over as the opponent?
Well, that would be a far better matchup. That I will say if Jeff Hardy is not 100%, but we'll see about that. That is possible. That's a very good point. Okay, so move on to the next match. This is one y'all will certainly have fun with. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. So I'm going to go to you first, Ricky. Who do you think is going to win this match?
I'll go with Daniel Bryan. This is a match that I thought was, WrestleMania worthy. I was looking forward to it for quite a while. I'm happy that we're actually going to get to see it because, like the whole Bingo Hall promo thing that Miz hit on Bryan on Talking Smack was just epic. And ever since then, I wanted Bryan to get his hands on Miz, and it just seemed like a pipe dream because of the retirement and all that. So the fact that it's actually happening is great. The only way that I could see Miz winning is if they're not planning this to be the blow-off, if they're going to have more of this, or if they're going to revisit it like at WrestleMania or something like that. I don't think they'll do that, though. I think that they'll have Bryan win this one, but it'll be a closely contested match. Might go like 20 minutes or so. Looking forward to it.
All right, so I'll go next. My answer is actually the opposite of that. I think that The Miz is going to win because this is how you would extend this out even further. Think about it in storyline. Daniel Bryan, he just can't wait to finally get his hands on The Miz. And then all of the trash talking The Miz has had about Daniel Bryan just, still not really doing anything, not being relevant anymore. So what happens? He faces off against The Miz, comes close to winning, but The Miz finds a way to win the match. And then you now have Daniel Bryan and The Miz continuing going on and on and on. I only say that because I don't really know what plans they have for Daniel Bryan. I would assume that he has re-signed his contract already. But I would say you still need to give this guy something. You're not going to immediately push him into the world title picture that fast. And then AJ is still going to have his feud with Joe, regardless of what happens at SummerSlam. So I think the Miz is going to find a way to win the match, just to extend this thing even further. How about you, Dana? Who's your pick?
I think I might be the only one who goes with Daniel Bryan, but I think I find it really interesting that I feel personally that somehow Maurice and Bree might get involved in this match, and we might end up with this an extension where we'll see those two in the ring as well. I mean, after all, yes, it did originally start between Miz and Daniel Bryan, but it started to involve their wives. And Maurice had the baby already. Bree isn't doing anything. You know, Birdie's grown by now, so
she's 15.
15 months.
There you go. That's a good age. So she can get back in the ring and do something again. But I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan just because you have that, and then also remember we have now the showcase mode. Yay! For 2K19. So what better way? Remember, we're getting like different cutscenes and like documentaries and videos along with the game. So what better way than to sell the game than by having him win? And then they can make that the selling point for the game.
Even though it will not be in the actual game. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, remember, we're getting videos because that's what people want when they have a video game. They want videos in their game and documentaries.
I will make a bet with you right now on this episode that will not be in the game. Because they're going to be like, well, wait a second, we can't, we don't have enough time to go back and add all this other stuff.
It has to be in the game because what's the purpose of Daniel Bryan being showcase mode? Why not AJ Styles, the guy who's the actual cover? We're going to have Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan has to win because it's kind of pointless to make him showcase. You can't have this 3-year journey that we've wanted. The fans wanted. Remember, it was the fans who basically created Daniel Bryan's career. So we wanted this, and for years he's been trying to get back in the ring. It finally happened, and we're getting the feud that originally started 3 or so years. Well, it started shorter than, but 3 years or so. So he has to win. It really just doesn't seem for me, there's not a point for him not to.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. Yeah. We'll see.
So one thing is why they don't have, just jump real quick, why they don't have the AJ Styles doing the showcase is because they already have the $1 Million Tower Challenge thing featuring AJ Styles. Just ridiculous. I guess that's what they want to do. Like, I remember like some old baseball games doing a thing where like the first player to pitch a no-hitter gets $1 million or something like that. They're doing that with this challenge. But the thing is that you don't get the $1 million right away if you're the first one to beat it at the hardest setting. You still have to go and face AJ Styles in person and beat him. And can you imagine AJ Styles depriving you of $1 million just because he feels like beating you in a video game? That'd be kind of messed up. But that could happen.
Right? He beats you, and he's like, well, what happened now? Now you go home, and I go back to my rich life. I'm sorry, buddy. You had your shot.
I'll too sweet you, though.
Exactly. He's like, no, and then he pulls a Michael Jackson. You know what? Here. And he takes a glove off. Take this. Yeah. You got one glove. There you go. One glove.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. Okay, Adam, who is your pick?
Oh, which way? What if I just zoned out? You just said what? Which match?
Yeah.
Oh, the Miz. Oh, that's why, because it's the Bryan. We're still talking about this crap. Damn. The Miz. The Miz. Because think about it. Yeah, the video game, but the video game's still way off. What's not way off? That damn TV show. That TV show that he has. So he's got to make that look strong. And
the same show that just got renewed for a second season.
There you go.
It got renewed already.
Yeah, so
there you go. So he's just got to look good, and he's just going to go and do that whole thing.
So now that I know we are 50-50 split, I'll be very curious to see how this ends, and I will definitely look forward to speaking about it in the recap.
I mean, all right. So this sort of reminds me. It's a weird situation. In a way, it does, in a way, it doesn't. But in Ring of Honor, Jay Lethal had this thing where he started after he lost the title, he just kept losing matches, this and that. So he disappeared for a little bit, and he had to regroup. This whole thing came back, and he started beating the guys that beat him, and he did this whole year of just beating all the way to the point that he got his title match and he got his belt back. So it's like, wow, he disappeared for a little while, needed to regroup, he lost all his matches, then he came back and just started kicking ass, and now he got his belt back. And that's what I sort of feel like with Daniel Bryan, is that since he's come back, I think the only person to beat him is Samoa Joe. Right? He's beaten everybody that he's had.
Yep, because the AJ Styles match ended in disqualification.
Yeah.
Shinsuke. Yeah.
So I feel like it's pointing in that direction that he's just going to keep going strong, but that ends the point of a feud, or if they wanted to go in a feud route with The Miz. So everything points that The Miz is going to win this.
Well, that's the thing, is that I feel that this was just kind of put together for SummerSlam, and then they were going to just not revisit it until maybe around WrestleMania time. I mean, if that's what they do, then yeah, maybe Miz wins, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think Bryan wins, and I think that that's going to be it for the feud, at least for the time being. That's how they're going to do that.
One point I will make real quick is I think, given what we saw on SmackDown and how they made a big deal to have, this was part 1, part 2, part 3 of the storyline between that would lead me to believe, this is the final match for that reason. So, but we'll see what happens. I mean, because I don't really know what they have planned for Daniel Bryan after this. So we have to wait and see what they actually got going on with that. So any final thoughts before we move on to the next match?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, these are the matches that I think are probably going to be the most interesting to discuss. Well, with the exception of one of them, but we'll get into that. Okay. The WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. You have Carmella defending against Becky Lynch and Charlotte. My pick for this match, although it may be very controversial, I say Becky Lynch is going to win. Because Charlotte doesn't need that belt, at least not right now. And Carmella is a horrible champion. So I say Becky Lynch. How about you, Dana?
Becky needs it more. No one cares about Carmella, but Becky needs it more. So I'm going with Becky.
Yes. Okay, how about you, Ricky?
I'd say Becky turns heel and wins.
Whoa! Ooh, turns heel. Ooh.
Yeah, she's gonna. I think that she'll pin Charlotte. She'll do it in a very dirty way to win the belt. That's how I see it. And she'll defend it. Carmella will get a rematch. Becky will dispose of her, and then it'll be Becky versus Charlotte, 1-on-1. That kind of thing. Probably at Evolution. But I don't know how far off Evolution is, but I think Becky wins. I feel like a heel turn's coming with her for some reason. That's just a hunch, though.
Well, one thing I will say real quick before we get to go to Adam is I do know in the past with that particular character, when she had all those losses, they kept playing up the fact, well, how far are you willing to go to get a win? So if that does happen in this match, then okay, I'm fine with that. Just so long as she is the one that wins the match, because I don't think that Charlotte needs that belt right now, and Carmella, they got to get that belt off of her. So we'll see. All right, Adam, who is your pick?
Carmella wins.
Whoa!
Nikki Cross shows up, and she's working with her, and that's the replacement for
James Ellsworth?
Yeah, Ellsworth is going to be the crazy girl. So she's going to have that crazy girl. And she's going to sick her on everybody.
Well, they haven't used Nikki Cross yet, so I guess anything is possible.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next match. We have the WWE SmackDown Tag Team titles, the Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day. And now they haven't said which of the New Day members are going to be in this match. Here's my thing. When this match happened and when it was confirmed, I was like, why the hell are the New Day? First and foremost, why are they still together, and why are they going against this team when they have already told the story that they cannot beat these guys? They already told the story the Usos also can't beat these guys. So I just don't get it. My pick for this, Bludgeon Brothers. Sorry, New Day. How about you, Dana?
New Day?
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the New Day. I just feel that they haven't really had much of a winning thing. I mean, they had a couple things on Raw, but they haven't really been in the big main spotlight. People haven't really been talking about them much. They've taken a much needed back seat, I feel, but I think they might come back. They've been less annoying as well. So,
okay, how about you, Ricky?
I'm gonna say New Day wins it. I think that. I mean, because who else is gonna beat the Bludgeon Brothers if it's not gonna be the New Day?
Oh, wow.
Like they already made, the Bludgeon Brothers like made the Usos look like chumps. So why go back to that? Like I think that it'll just be New Day. So that's my prediction for that.
Yeah, so then they could have New Day feuding with Sheamus and Cesaro, I guess, since they had a really good match on SmackDown. That's possible.
Yeah.
Okay, how about you, Adam?
Bludgeon, New Day, breakup. That's it. Something big. Thing is, this SummerSlam. Something big has to happen. That's the thing with these big pay-per-views. It wasn't so much of the matches; it's the drama around the matches.
Yeah. So, something is going to happen in the next match that I'm gonna get to after this. I guarantee that. Okay, we'll see what happens in that tag match. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 5 matches left. All right. This is the match. The real reason why Ricky made a return to WrestleCast tonight. We have the WWE Intercontinental Championship match. Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre in his corner versus Seth Rollins with Dean Ambrose. Oh, I'm sorry, Dean jacked up Ambrose in his corner. So, Ricky, why don't you go first and let us know what's going to happen in this match?
Before I do that, I'd rather hear you guys first because I want to hear your theories on what's going to happen because I'm not totally sure yet. So
so that sounds great. I'm going to go to Dana first because I know that when she saw Dean Ambrose return and I received the text, it was in all caps. So that was very serious reaction from her. Like she said, Dean Ambrose is jacked. So Dana, how about you go first?
Steroids win. At the end of the day, it's the power of steroids. Dean Ambrose, and he's gonna turn heel because he has a beard now, and we know all beards turn heel. Except for Roman.
Everybody has what's his name? Braun Strowman has the beard.
He was technically supposed to be a heel. Remember that.
Ambrose had a beard last year before he got injured. So
yeah,
it's just that he doesn't have the mop top anymore.
I'm telling you, it's Dean Ambrose came back for a reason, and it's not to just sit in the corner and to look like he's about to kill people. He's going to go in there and actually kill people. So I see Seth winning, Dean turning, and we're going to get ready for whatever pay-per-view they have next that I don't remember. But yeah, that's my prediction.
Okay. How about you, Adam?
Seth winning? Is that what she just said?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Dolph's going to win. He has to win. They have to do something with this. I can't see Seth. Why should Seth win? I think he needs to move up to the main title.
But why
Yeah.
else would they they had Dean came back in such like this big fashion.
He's gonna help him out and stuff to see if he can win, but it's not gonna win it. Dolph is still gonna win it, and then it's gonna lead to them having tag matches and doing the whole thing for a while until the ring rust gets off of Dean, and then they're like, all right, then now we can split you guys up and go back to plan, and Seth goes back for the title.
So you see no heel turn at all.
No, I don't think. Well, there's no point. Seth is already going against two heels. I can understand if there was no heels, but there's already two between. And think about it, the Dolph and what's his name, the Scottish Warrior. Those two, they're just tagged up just for the hell of it right now. But
now let me just stop you there. How dare you not know who Drew McIntyre is?
Drew McIntyre,
who is the only person that we should be focusing on? Not Dolph Ziggler. Yes. Yes.
So.
But no, continue. Now, or you were finished. Okay. Let me go ahead and tell you what I think is going to happen. I think Dean Ambrose came back for a reason. I think that he is jacked up for a reason. I honestly think that Dolph Ziggler is going to win this match because Dean Ambrose is going to cost Seth Rollins. And the reason why I think this is because, once again, let's go back to when Seth Rollins turned on the Shield and he turned on Dean. No one saw that coming because everyone figured, oh, well, if anybody's going to turn heel, it won't be Seth Rollins. So because he did turn heel, I don't think Dean Ambrose has ever gotten over that. And obviously, if you want to turn on Seth Rollins and you want it to really sting, you're going to do something beyond having him win the title and go back to Raw. Okay, and now I'll turn on him. No, I think that is going to happen between Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. They're going to have a feud over that Intercontinental title because they already teased that Drew McIntyre looking at that title just a little bit too heavily. So I think I can see them being the ones that fall apart. As for Dean and Seth, I don't think that Seth Rollins needs to. He is better than that Intercontinental title. And I also think Dean Ambrose is better than the Intercontinental title also. So I obviously see Dean Ambrose costing Seth Rollins because it will sting a lot more if you think, oh, well, I have Dean in my corner. Oh, I'm definitely going to win the Intercontinental title. And then all of a sudden Ambrose turns on him. That's it. It's over. Now they have a feud. But that's my guess. Was that what?
We don't need to see that feud again.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Back and forth. We've already seen them all that.
Oh yeah, but that's a fun feud. And then also I'll also add in the fact that Raw doesn't really have too many creditable heels at the top. You have Drew McIntyre, who is the shadow of Dolph Ziggler right now. They have him following Dolph Ziggler around like a little dog, not really getting his due as a top star yet. We obviously know they're not going to turn Roman Reigns heel. I mean, at least that's how everything looks right now. So I think, yeah, you turn Dean Ambrose heel, that'll be great. And it can be in the main event scene or at the very top of the main event or close to it. So, yeah, I can see that happening, but we'll see what happens. Now we're going to go to you, Ricky. You can let us know what you think is going to happen.
So these are all very interesting ideas, and it got me thinking. You know, like first I'm going to say Dean Ambrose is absolutely going to turn heel on Seth Rollins. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. I was trying to figure out myself whether this was going to happen on Sunday or Monday or later than that, and I've kind of reached the conclusion that they're going to wait on that a little bit. Because you see, right now you have Ziggler and McIntyre together, but you hadn't had Seth Rollins have Ambrose at his corner until just now. Those four need to have a tag match against each other before Dean and Seth split up. And that's something that, maybe they could save that for a Raw, or maybe they could save that for another pay-per-view coming up. But I feel like that's a match that has to happen before, they split up. The heel turn, definitely, he's bigger now, and when he was leaner and more pliable and everything, he was able to fly around the ring and last longer in matches and things like that. And that worked to his favor, but as a bigger, more muscular guy, he's got to work more slowly, I think. He's got to be more methodical about it.
I don't remember if they made a big announcement of his new physique. Did they? They didn't really say it, did they?
They haven't really, like, I mean, they
haven't. We noticed it, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if they don't address it, then it's just like, oh, he's back and he's healthy. But if they like, oh, he's a monster now, look how big he is, then yeah, they're gonna go down that road.
I mean, okay. I mean, this just happened at the end of Raw, so they haven't had a chance to make any kind of like big proclamations about it. I mean, we'll see how much Michael Cole drools on the next Raw talking about it. But
well, hold on a second. Let me just make a quick comment, and I don't want to cut you off. But just to clarify, we already know no one watches Raw to the very end, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people saw that after the fact, after it was already live. Then they had their reaction. But go ahead, Ricky.
But the WWE themselves already acknowledged it on their Instagram account that they basically said, "New look, same lunatic." So it's a picture of him, shirtless and posing and all that stuff. They acknowledge that he's jacked. So it's going to be something that's got to be mentioned. That
I've never seen him this big. Like even when he was out in the Indies, he was never this big. Like this is some people would say, oh well, he took time off now. He got time to train. He's had time off before. He's never been like this. This was crazy. When I saw it, I got nervous. And part of me got scared. I'm like, oh, this is not normal. This reminds me of Chris Masters. Remember him? It's like, whoa. That's too big. And then when he got off the juice, he just shrunk down to a little man. Because that's the thing now. If this is his new look, he's got to keep it up.
Yeah.
If he shrinks back down, it's going to be very noticeable.
Well, no. All of this shows is exactly why it's a great idea to stay off social media, because we know Dean Ambrose is not on Twitter, Facebook, all these other things. So he has all the time in the world to work out. And look how he looks now.
Well, he had the elbow injury, so he had to. So he had to be working out on his time off. And it's like the first time in years that he's had time off away from the ring. He's had more time to pay attention to his body. To go back to the whole muscle thing, this is the most muscle mass he's had since his John Moxley days when he had the pink hair in the Indies, and that was like a decade ago, maybe even longer than that. He hasn't been that big in a very long time. But, credit to him. He looked, a lot of people are impressed, present company included. But I just realized I hadn't even made my prediction for the match yet. I'm still thinking about that. Does Seth Rollins win the Intercontinental Championship or not? What the hell? Wait. I can't believe I had all this time to think about it. I'm still not sure. I'm going to say Ziggler retains. And I agree that I'm going to say Ziggler retains the belt. I don't think that Dean, turns heel on him just yet. But Ziggler will find a way to retain. I think that Rollins absolutely belongs into the Universal title picture. It's just that there's about 2 or 3 other names ahead of him right now, which we'll get into, further along here. But I'll say Ziggler retains. I'm rooting for Rollins to win it, but I think it'll be Ziggler.
Sounds good to me. Absolutely. Okay. A few more matches to go. We have Braun Strowman defending the Money in the Bank briefcase against Kevin Owens. All right, Dana, who do you have in this match?
I feel that Kevin right now, Braun doesn't need it, but it would be nice if he won. But he doesn't need to win. Kevin, I feel, needs to win a little bit more. So I'm going to go with Kevin Owens.
I agree 100% with that. Because
you know what he gets when he wins, right, Dana?
What's that?
No, it's for that Money in the Bank. So if Kevin wins, he gets that Money in the Bank that Braun has.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you don't think he's going to cash in that night if that's the case?
Oh well, we was gonna get to that, but that's
that's the thing. It's connected in that way, because if you're saying he wins, it only makes sense for our SummerSlam moment that not only does he win that, but he cashes in. That's it. Because if not, then it's not fun.
Night. Wouldn't people? I just kind of feel that right now for me, Kevin Owens would be one who needs it more. Braun is over whether or not he has a championship belt. And Kevin right now, I kind of feel that he just flounders if he doesn't have a title for me. So I would still prefer Kevin win, and then he cashes in, and we have that whole situation with Brock that we'll get into later. But there's no guarantee that Brock has even signed an extension with WWE.
Yeah. I agree, and what I'll just say my point real quick, and then I'll go to Ricky next. Yeah, I definitely think that Kevin Owens is going to win, or at least that's who I will be rooting to win, because I don't think that Braun Strowman, even when he won the Money in the Bank, I didn't think he needed to win that match, because I felt like he's already over. If they wanted to give him a title shot, just give him a title shot. And with Kevin Owens and the storyline stupidity situation, is that I recall when Goldberg had that belt and he took it off of Kevin Owens had this whole promo he cut about, well, I can get another title shot at any time, according to what Stephanie McMahon said. They have completely thrown that storyline away so that now it doesn't even make a difference. So I think, yeah, Kevin Owens should win it. And spoiler alert, this obviously can change, but the next pay-per-view, which I believe is Hell in a Cell, which is September 16th, they already had it listed Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a Universal title match. So obviously that's subject to change, but I say Kevin Owens, yeah. Kevin Owens, I root for Kevin Owens to win, but we'll see what happens. So Ricky, who is your pick?
Yeah, I wanna agree to be Kevin Owens. I think that those Monster in the Bank shirts are going to expire almost as quickly as those Y2AJ shirts from a couple of years ago. I just think it was the wrong idea. It was the wrong move to give Strowman the briefcase to begin with for exact reason. He is a briefcase. He's a legit title contender on his own. He can get it whenever he wants. He doesn't need a contract to cash in. Kevin Owens has fallen off since a couple of years ago. This would be a good way to get him back into the picture. And where we failed to mention a very important stipulation is that if Braun Strowman loses in any way, he loses the briefcase. So I think this will be a thing similar to when Christian beat Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship by spitting on Orton and getting Orton to low blow him, and the referee disqualified him. He won the championship through nefarious means. I think Owens could do the same thing. He may have Sami Zayn interfere, maybe have Braun Strowman chase him outside the ring and win by countout, and that's how he gets the briefcase. Now, Sami Zayn would have to be very far away because Strowman is a fast motherfucker, and Sami Zayn is still hurt, and he cannot, be touched in any way. So that's just my theory.
Well, I will say this. That is a good theory. I know Sami Zayn is injured. However, Jinder Mahal is now involved in this. Because they've had him with Owens a couple times. So, in theory, Jinder Mahal could come out to the ring and give a low blow or hit Kevin Owens. Now Kevin Owens wins by disqualification, so he's the champion. So, yeah, you're 100% right. Any of those methods can work to get him that briefcase.
Yep.
So we'll see. How about you, Adam? Uh-oh.
Let's see. In my mind, just to make the show entertaining, Kevin Owens figures out some way to win. There's only two ways to do it. He figures out some way to win. He gets a briefcase. Then the main event happens. Then Roman wins, or Brock, doesn't matter which. He cashes in. Owens and he gets the win, and that's how you keep the belt still within WWE, right? Regardless, and at least in that way. But if not, then Braun catches in, and he just beats whoever is the champ, and there you go. Either way, I just think somebody that's in that match is going to end up the champion at the end of the night. That's it.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I agree. Okay. The final 3 matches. First and foremost, AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against Samoa Joe. I'm going to say AJ Styles, and I'm going to say that this feud continues with Samoa Joe into the next couple of months. How about you, Dana?
The WWE cover is AJ Styles. So I'm going with AJ. A game that nobody cares about. The that has to be promoted. Comes out next less than 2 months by now.
Yeah, October. Yep.
There you go. We have to get people actually buy the game, so those NDAs can come out with them being in the top 10.
That won't happen. They definitely won't be in the top 10. We'll see.
I don't know. They were in the top 10 when it made no sense for them to be. I didn't know a single soul still playing that game, but they managed to weasel themselves in that NDA. So
that was Adam.
When they get on the top 10 that I've seen, they get on top 10. It's when the game goes on sale. It's not when it's at that's the thing when people don't understand. Like
November.
Even when Grand Theft Auto, when they're like, oh, Grand Theft Auto's always on the top and this and that. Yeah, but you notice it always jumps up on the top when they go on sale.
Yeah.
When they put that sale price, and that's when you start seeing all these random games. Like, well, who's playing NBA Live still? What's going on? It's because the shit was $6. So yeah, it gets bumped up. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
So I don't see it. I don't see it happening that way. He could easily lose.
The company is giving away $1 million, to that one person. So
whoa! What was that?
What was that?
Also,
the Undertaker.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's how serious. All right, so
surprise return.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so that's what it is. So how about you, Adam? Who was your pick? AJ Styles or Samoa Joe?
Joe.
Oh wait, whoa!
Joe. Damn right, Samoa Joe's gonna win this. It has nothing to do with him being with AJ being the champion. He's still AJ. I mean, if they really cared, they would have made him the showcase, but they didn't. So it's gonna be Joe. Joe is going to win.
I would say I would love to see Joe get that belt, but
yeah,
I don't
Joe's
know.
gonna win.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if Vince
they can't have him. They did. Think about it. If he loses this, then he's doing exactly the same storyline that he did when he was on Raw, when he was building his way up to go against Brock, just to lose to Brock.
Yeah.
Remember? It's the same thing then.
Yeah, Great Balls of Fire. I think that was.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Fire.
And that pay-per-view hasn't existed since then. So yeah, yep. So okay, that's good. So who's your pick, Ricky? Samoa Joe or AJ Styles?
Oh, that's a tough one because my heart is definitely with Samoa Joe on this one. I think he's just so damn good. You gotta give it to him. But it's WWE. They might just have AJ retain, and I can't believe that I would be frustrated at AJ retaining the belt because he's so great. Also, it's just you don't need to have AJ Styles win this. He's already over. He'll be over. If he loses, he'll still have a chance to win the title back. Give it to Joe. I mean, I'm going to go with Samoa Joe. I could totally see AJ retaining it, but I'm going to just say they surprise me and they go with Joe. So
yeah,
let's see what happens.
Well, I think we all hope that Joe actually wins, but we'll see what happens. Okay, the final 2 matches. Yes. So, the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss defending the title against Ronda Rousey. Okay. Ricky, who was your pick to win this match?
Before I give the pick, can I just comment that I just something that I just realized that Asuka's not even on SummerSlam.
Yes.
So was it the rumor that she quit? That was a horrible rumor, but yeah, supposedly that she's out.
Oh yeah, they have nothing for her apparently.
Yeah.
They have nothing for the one that won the first ever women's Royal Rumble.
She's kicked everybody's ass, so it's done.
Yeah, that's right. This is what they got themselves into when they decided we're going to have Carmella win the Money in the Bank.
Unreal.
So, unfortunately, yes, you're correct.
And also another random side note: John Cena will not be at SummerSlam for the first time since 2003.
That's excellent news.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm totally cool with that, but yeah. But getting back on topic here, Alexa Bliss, Ronda Rousey. Shoot. Give me more time. I need to think about this.
Okay. How about you, Dana? Because I know you at first you wasn't really behind Ronda Rousey, but now you are a fan. So do you think she's gonna...
Right, and I will admit 1,000% when I'm wrong. And I was not a fan of Ronda when she was announced. I was not a fan of her when she came in during Royal Rumble. And remember how WWE was Royal Rumble? Yeah, it was Royal Rumble. Yeah. And how WWE just basically sidestepped Asuka. Remember, she won. And how they just didn't really pay any attention or care about that whole situation. But she has proven to be a very good wrestler. She's a fast learner. She's quick. And remember, she just gave an interview stating that she wants to extend her contract. She didn't think that she would like it as much as she does, and she is in love with the sport. She's in love with the company, and she's in love with the fans. And I just feel that I'm really torn because a part of me feels that Ronda is still green, and she has a lot more to accomplish just in the ring itself. But I do feel that WWE may want to keep up that momentum and to have her win. And they might go with her. I'm really torn. I don't think she will win, but I won't be surprised if she does. So I would instead go with, I would probably say Alexa retains.
Yeah, it's not a bad prediction. Okay, Adam, who do you have in this match?
Ronda will win.
Uh-oh.
She's just gonna win.
Uh-oh.
That's the way I see it. I mean, because remember, she had her other title match and then she lost, right? The whole Alexa Bliss thing, and then she lost. So then now she's gonna get the title match. Something is going to happen with a backstep, and this is why I think there may be some other factors coming into this. Because I was thinking that, remember, her best friend is Natty, right? That was the whole thing. Oh, Natty's this, Natty that. They kept doing the whole thing, Natty, 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 and that. Before her father's passing, though, that when Ronda wins, she's celebrating in the room, in the ring, and then Natty runs in to celebrate with her, and then backstabs her and hits her and does the whole thing. It was like later cuts a promo. I deserve that. I've been here longer. I trained her. I did it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then they can have their match because the whole thing is that they want Ronda to work with somebody who's a seasoned veteran. Somebody that's how you learn. You know, you can't have two green people going at it. You need to have a season in the green, and that's it. That would be Natty. You know, Natty's the one that's been training her at the Performance Center, so everything just makes sense that way. And that's why they're close. But Natty's out, you know, taking time off because of her loss. What do? You know, then maybe they go back to the original plan, which was to have her feud with Mickie James for a long time, remember? Because they were doing that, I think, were they doing that at house shows?
Yeah.
They were doing that, you know, and that never made it to TV. So there you go, have it that way. But they remember, the whole point is to keep her relevant on TV. They're paying her a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why everything's pointing to her having the title, because then at least they could say she's the champion. So if she's not there, it doesn't matter. She's still the champ. People are already used to the champ not always wrestling every week. Look at Brock, the whole thing. But she's relevant. She's not the champ. She's not wrestling all the time. Then it's like, what was the point? Why is she here? You know, what is she doing? So in a way, she needs it, and that's what they always say. At least Bruce Pritchard and other people say, you put the belt on someone that you want to draw their attention. You want to help get over. Like you said before, like with Braun, some people are so big they don't need it. You know, whether they're super over with the crowd, like that's why they always said Rob Van Dam didn't get it because he was so over already. What's the point? You know, they're cheering him regardless. Well, there you go. You want more eyes, and you know she's already a big name in the world. So when she gets the title at a big event like SummerSlam that gets a lot of coverage, it's a win-win for everybody.
So. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. As for my pick, yeah, I do think that the original plan was to definitely get Natty involved in that match and cost Ronda. If Ronda just says before the match, well, I want to dedicate this match to Jim, then Ronda's going to win the match. I mean, that would be my guess. But yeah, I do agree that she is still green, but obviously they definitely want attention to be on her. So I have to say Ronda Rousey is probably going to.
But then again, well, yeah, no, it's too close. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I just don't see Natty coming back anytime soon.
Okay, how about you, Ricky?
Yeah, so having some time to think about it, I'd say Ronda wins it. You know, wins it for the Neidhart family, and also because she's still Ronda Rousey. She's still mainstream, and look at all the mainstream coverage that WWE would get if she were to win the belt at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. You know, I can already picture all the headlines on Raw the next day, the little newspaper snippets, USA Today, you know, New York Times, blah, 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 that Vince McMahon loves to do. You know, the second that anyone outside the business utters anything about WWE, Vince loses his mind.
Yeah. Breaking news on Sports Center that night, Ronda wins. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can totally see that, and I think that would be a thing that's like, you know, congratulations, Ronda Rousey, you know, that kind of thing. So I think Ronda will win it.
Sounds good. I agree. Okay, so the final match of the night, and by far the match that everybody is the most excited to see, because we never saw this match before, apparently. We have the Universal Championship match. Brock Lesnar defending against Roman Reigns. So, Dana, I'm going to go to you first. Who do you think is going to win this match, and do you even care about this match?
Oh God in heaven. Does anyone care about this match? Is the real question.
This is probably the only match that I care about.
I can't even tell you serious right now?
I'm dead serious because I feel we are going to get swerved big time. Something's going to happen. Like I said before, Braun or Owens, something's going to happen. And there's going to be some kind of swerve. Something has to happen in this because it's too predictable. It's too predictable. And this is going to be in New York. They know once Roman comes out, he's going to get booed throughout the entire match. People are going to say all kinds of shit throughout this entire match. They have to throw in a wrench. They have to do it. If they don't do it, then it's a total bust, and I will hate this product because they have everything in place for a big swerve. They can do it.
It is in, but this is not the Hammerstein Ballroom, New York crowd from.
This is SummerSlam. No, this is what do you mean? It's Brooklyn and it's still in New York.
This is the tame crowd. Oh, here's the thing. I predict one. This is my first prediction. The crowd's already going to walk out, so it's not like they're going to have an audience that cares. So because of that, Roman could easily, lose. And Brock will once again win. They don't have an audience that they're catering to because everyone would have walked out by then. No one that I know cares a flying fart about this match. The fart that's flying doesn't even care about this match. So, I don't care who wins. No one wins. That's what happens. The power goes out. We don't know. No one wins. They don't fill up the gas tank for the generators. and we never know who the winner is because no one really cares. So that's my answer.
Okay.
Boredom wins.
Okay, so Adam, who is your pick to win?
Man, this is tough. This is tough. This is definitely tough. No, I don't know why you. This can't. Just think about it. This can't be the cut and dry that he wins. It just doesn't. Everything. I mean, I'm thinking of all these other crazy swerves. I'm thinking that the Paul Heyman Roman Reigns thing is still gonna happen, and we're finally gonna see Roman Reigns as a heel. This is it. And he's going to be champ. And I see that. That's the other thing I could see. Even with the whole water gun squirt thing, that's a swerve. All that was a swerve to trick him into thinking, to trick Brock into thinking that everything was normal. And then poof. And then why? When they do Monday Night Raw, Paul Heyman can cut the promo, and then the Roman could come out and say his own little thing. You never backed me. You never cared about me. People will boom and boom and boom, and it'll work. Paul Heyman will sell it, and he'll sell it like, hey, I needed to keep my job. Brock was gonna leave. You heard Kurt Angle say that once Brock is out, I am out. I have a family, and I can't do that. I gotta think about me first, and that's it. So.
Okay, go ahead.
Have Heyman pepper spray Brock Lesnar during the match.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. He's going to take the gun out again, and then Brock is going to be like, okay, and then he's going to go to turn around, and oh my God, it's in his face, and then he catches him, and then everyone thinks it's an accident. Maybe he'll play dumb, and then he'll get in the ring, and he'll like, oh no, don't hurt me, Norman, don't hurt me. And next you know, they shake hands, they lift up, yay, and it's like, whoa, what just happened? That's how you get a big.
But then
pop.
You can't have a cash-in happen because it'll take away.
Well,
from
that's
that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the alternative if there is no cash-in of how you end who wins that match. Because if you're gonna go with Roman winning, which most likely they would if they don't do a cash-in, then this is it. You do the swerve job.
I would love a double turn like that. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was it.
Well,
that would be the only way.
Well,
you're being too smart. This is dumb. This is WWE. You got to dumb it down, Brock. Come on.
No, so you think Brock just wins and that's it?
Yeah, and that's just, you know, when Paul Heyman comes out, I was always on your side, you know, and starts fake crying again.
See, the thing is that Brock Lesnar has a meeting with WWE about 4 hours before the pay-per-view. So that is a sign. The last time they've done that is when they made them changes at the last minute.
And he won.
Yeah. So that, and plus the fact that he is also scheduled to be at Raw the next night.
Mm-hmm.
That would lead me to believe if he does win at SummerSlam, he will not be champion by the end of Monday Night Raw the following night, because there could easily be a cash-in at that point.
Yeah.
So,
hell, they don't even have to do any of this. If they could say that he quit at the, breaking news, like we've been getting lately, Brock Lesnar quits, forfeits title, new champion. We saw that with Enzo when they fired in it. All right, forget it. New tournament. So they could easily do that type of swerve on us.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. All right, so how about you, Ricky? Who was your pick for this match to win? Who do you think was going to win?
Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns will win. I would love the fantasy booking of the double turn. However, it's WWE. They've let me down every time. It's not going to happen. Roman will win, and he'll get cashed on by Kevin Owens to end the night. That's how I see it.
Well, I definitely think that cash-in has to happen, because they know, Vince has to know people are not going to be cheering for Reigns at the end of that match. So I think you got to have something happen.
The alternative is if Braun Strowman manages to retain, he cashes in and becomes the new Paul Heyman guy.
Well, see, here's the thing. I definitely think that Paul Heyman is going to align himself with somebody else, because even though you can say that it was a fake thing, the whole thing, the way that he was manhandled by Brock Lesnar, there's no way. Some of that is a little bit too believable. So I don't think that. Yeah, I think definitely that he has a backup plan to deal with Brock Lesnar, and if it is Braun Strowman, that's great. If it's Kevin Owens,
Yeah.
Listen, that's
I
fine.
could see
too.
Kevin Owens as a Heyman guy too. I could see Kevin Owens. But remember, the whole point for Paul Heyman is that he's a mouthpiece. Kevin Owens can talk.
Yeah.
So you don't really need him for that. So
Right.
Braun, kind of, but Braun's not so bad on the mic too. So he doesn't have to say much. He's a big man. Yeah, big men aren't supposed to be too, talky. So that's why I just think it's Roman. Roman, out of everyone in that group of four, needs the help. He sucks on the mic.
Yeah, and that's never changed. And the thing that's interesting is even before the pepper spray happened, just like Heyman saying that thing in Samoan to him.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns like, oh, it's like there's got to be more to it than what we saw. There's got to be more to it than what I saw. That's almost as if he's telling Roman like, just trust me with this.
Yeah, don't worry, things are gonna work out. I got your back.
You have Heyman's a thinker. He's a sneaky guy, and it would be too obvious this close to SummerSlam that I was just faking all along. I'm totally still with Brock Lesnar. We're fine. We'll see. You still got to keep an eye on Paul Heyman in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's going to play a big part in this for somebody, whether he helps somebody run in or if he helps Roman. He's going to play a big part. But if Roman wins, I'm telling you, he's winning as a heel, not as a baby. That's it. He's winning as a heel. And here's the other reason why. Because there's so many baby faces. We just talked about it. We just talked about Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
This is how you get to throw him back up there. This is how you get to throw Finn back up there. If Dean back up there. You know what I mean? Just have the evil villain up top. And that's it. And then the other guys can be like, hey, why are you doing this? Why are you pointing? He's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Why am I doing? And then he just beats the shit out of them and beats up everybody. He's still like the big dog, but now he's a villain. And then it works out even better. And change up his music. Stop doing it. And his outfit needs to go too. Shit. Look like a retired SWAT guy. Come on.
Yeah, just completely rebrand him. And I would say that even when after Roman Reigns had won the WWE Championship off Triple H at WrestleMania 32, that month or two afterwards that he was holding the belt, even though he was still a good guy or the guy as he called himself, he was like a cocky asshole of a champion, and he made it, and he was like practically unbeatable. He would have been an ideal heel champion. You know what I mean? Like the guy that you still got to beat. And he's someone that thinks that, like, I'm way better than everyone else. He carried himself as a champion and all that. He's meant to be a heel. I don't know why Vince is in denial about that. He will be a star as a heel. But.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he would be. He'd make us all happy. Because then he could cheat and he could do all that other stuff and it'll work out in his favor and he could do all his cheesy moves because, he's a heel. That's what heels do. They do cheesiness. And
people will love him for it.
Exactly. They'll love him for it. And he doesn't have to talk because I have Paul Heyman to talk for him. Paul Heyman will sell all the matches and that's it. It'll be worked out. Make him the big, and that's when they're like, the Roman and the Emperor and all that stuff, get real cheesy. Have it where he comes down with a cloak, do something crazy. You know what I mean? Like, have him nuts. I don't know. I'm just thinking, go all out, go overboard already with him.
Well, I will just say this final thing. It would be funny to see after the storyline where Roman Reigns is complaining about Brock Lesnar's never here. Roman Reigns wins the belt, and then he is the one that takes a vacation and is never on TV. That would be pretty funny if that happened, but that ain't going to happen.
No, unless he gets hurt.
Unless he gets hurt. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But yes, any final thoughts on SummerSlam? I think we've covered pretty much every match.
I think we did. That's it.
That's it.
We did it.
We did it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
We did it.
So that actually concludes our show for this evening. Definitely watch NXT TakeOver tomorrow night as well as SummerSlam and let us know what you think in the comment section. Let us know who your picks are to win. But yes, For final shout-outs, Dana, do you have any final shout-outs that you want to give?
Shout outs to anyone who's going to sit through all 20 hours of this SummerSlam event. Remember, it starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So good luck to you guys. Also, shout out to the listeners and everyone who supports us.
Absolutely. How about you, Adam? Any shout-outs that you want to give?
Yeah, shout-outs to Throwdown. Shout-outs to the people that listen and watch live or listen later. And shout-outs to all the people that were in Dana's building, maybe on fire. Who knows? It was pretty bad. I hope they're all okay. You know, and yeah, hopefully we see some good matches. We're guaranteed to see a few, that's for sure. So that's all we can hope for, and some surprises. You know, I want the surprises. I miss the surprises. You know, I'm tired of, you know, a lot of people they're like, oh, I got to read all the news on the rumors and the dirt sheets beforehand. I need to. No, don't. You know, and if you're one of those, don't read anything leading up to this. Don't read anything. Stop. That's it. You found out all this junk we just told you. Now stop. You know, you don't want to be spoiled. You want to be surprised, because that's what I enjoyed about wrestling when I was younger. You never knew what was going to happen. You really didn't, you know. So now we know too much.
But also, we don't have any surprises anymore. So.
Well,
because we know everything, so we know when someone's
no, Dana. I have to disagree. We do have surprises. Surprises when you see that there were so many great people wrestling in NXT, and then they get up to the main roster, and WWE still messes up everything about that wrestler. So yeah,
that's why I don't want Velveteen to get called up. He'll be in a tag team with Tyler Breeze or some shit like that.
That's right. So look forward to that. How about you, Ricky? Any shout outs you want to give?
Yes, a shout out to all our listeners, to all the Koalition supporters. And big shout out to Dean Ambrose and all my fellow Dean Ambrose fans. It's a great time. Our boy is back. He's jacked, baby. He's looking real jacked.
I just hope he stays that way.
We'll see.
No, I'm just saying, because if it fades out, then it's you know what I mean. It's one of those things. It's like that with everything. If you're a bodybuilder, even if you shrink down a little bit, you're like, yo, he lost it. Something's wrong with him. It's like, no, you can't keep it up for that long. But I don't know. I just hope it sticks around for a while.
Well, he can always consult with Brock Lesnar if he is wants to get smaller again. Just talk to Brock Lesnar. He'll help him figure it out.
Or what about Triple H? I'm sure Triple H has some substances that he.
Oh yeah, he has some great information to share. So we'll see.
You see what I mean? You see, everybody, we're all here talking about the physique of men. I mean, if we said it about a woman, does that mean that we're shaming? Like, I don't.
It means we're being insensitive.
We're not. They're both on the same platform, so they get the same criticism.
Well, we'll see about that. But yes, shout out to all the subscribers and all the listeners. Thank you for checking out the co-op earlier. There will be no PowerCast this week because Stars does not have the show airing this week. So we hope
Why?
That's up to Stars. They decided to take a vacation.
I can understand regular network TV because of like a baseball or some kind of game, but what Stars is just that's premium TV, which it.
Hey, I don't know. You have to ask them that directly. But yes.
That's the last season, right?
No, it's not. Season 5. They got another season that they will renew for, so we'll see.
Shit, really?
Oh yeah. That's Dana's favorite show. Yes. So
don't say that. Don't say that.
That's Gary's favorite show.
It's Gary's favorite show.
There you go. So
there you go.
With that said, hope that y'all have a great weekend. We will talk to you all next week.
Believe in the Shield.
So believe in the Shield.